Gurubhyo Namaha, Namaste. The Atharva Forum, a Shiva Sankalpa initiative, is a Seva Prakalp, and it is a privilege to collaborate in organizing the Ashta Avadhana of Shatavadhani Dr. R. Ganeshji with the Central Sanskrit University, and to have found the support of the Kulapati, Professor Srinivas Varakhedi in organizing this Avadhanam. Our Dhanyavadas. Also, the Indian Knowledge Systems Division at AICTE, Ministry of Education, with whom the Atharva Forum is conducting a series of seminars across India with the brilliant support from the IKS Division National Coordinator, Professor Ghanti Murthy. Our associates in this endeavor are the Center for Human Sciences, Rishihut University, Sonipat. Dean of the Center, Dr. Sampadanand Mishra ji, is present here today. And the other associate is Preksha, Journal, and Pratisthana. We welcome our chief guest, Dr. Deepti Tripathi ji. She is the President, International Association of Sanskrit Studies. Briefly about Shatavadhani Dr. Ganesh ji. Dr. Ganesh is a polyglot and a master of this ancient art of Avadhanam, having performed over 1200 Ashta Avadhanams and 5 Shata Avadhanams across 3 languages, Kannada, Sanskrit, and Telugu. He is also credited with reviving the art in Kannada. Dr. Ganesh has authored The Art and Science of Avadhanam in Sanskrit. This is a definitive work on Sahitya Avadhanam, published by Preksha Pratisthana. The co-author of the book, Shashi Kiran BN, is one of the Prichikas here today. This treatise is perhaps the first of its kind in English, replete with literary citations, epigraphical evidence, and experiential perspectives of performers. Please subscribe to the Atharva Forum YouTube channel. You can also watch Dr. Ganesh in conversation with Vasuki H.A. on the Atharva Forum on spontaneity in Avadhanam and classical Indian performing arts. I now request Shashi Kiran BN to take over the proceedings with a brief introduction to the art of Avadhanam and introduce the Prichikas. Thank you.
सर्वेभ्यो नमः महतः प्रमोदस्य स्थानमिदं यत् भारतस्य राजधान्यां देहल्याम् अष्टावधानम् आयोजितं तच्च शतावधानिभिः डॉक्टर रा गणेशमहाभागैः इदानीं प्रस्तूयमानं वर्तते इति अत्र भागम् अत्र ये तावद् उपस्थिताः सन्ति भवद्भ्यः सर्वेभ्योऽपि सहृदयेभ्यः नमो वाकं प्रशासे अहं हार्दं स्वागतं व्याहरामि च. For the benefit of those who cannot follow Sanskrit or who can understand English better, I shall give a very brief introduction to Avadhanam. प्रातः कार्यशालायां ये तावद् भागम् अग्रहीषुः तैस्तावत् अवधानस्य स्वरूपम् इत्यादिकं विज्ञायते एव. Avadhanam is basically a classical Indian art form. It is rooted in classical Indian versification, spontaneous or extempore or impromptu versification. The performer is called an avadhani. The word itself means concentration. The great aesthetician Vamana, he says chittaikagriyam avadhanam. So avadhani is one who possesses focus or attentiveness to a remarkable degree, and in order to test his focus and so on, there are 8 prachakas or questioners who are assembled today, and the format adopted for the performance today is Ashtavadhanam. In that there are 8 components. I shall briefly introduce each prachaka and the components involved. So the art form progresses, unfolds in 4 rounds, 4 avartas, and there are 2 elements to it, Purana and Dharana. In response to the various queries raised by the questioners, the Avadhani composes extempore verses, and that is called as Purana, and he has to retain all those verses in memory and present them before the audience at the end of the program or in each of those rounds. That is called as Dharana. And what are the qualities expected in an Avadhani? Dr. Ganesh inimicably explained that in the morning session. It is called the Dhatraya, Dhara, Dharana, and Dhairya. Dhara is, of course, the flow in which the Avadhani pours out extempore verses as and when the questioners ask him various questions. The other thing is Dharana, which is retention, and the other thing which is required, though understated, is Dhairya. because all the questioners here are scholars themselves, are poets of eminence in their own right, and even in the audience there are various scholars. So to perform Avadhanam amidst scholars takes some dhairya. So dharana, dhairya and dhara, these things are essential to a performer. Something about the questioners today. The first Vibhaga today is Nishiddhakshari. Representing this Vibhaga, we have Dr. Surya Hebbar. I extend a very warm welcome to him. Nishiddhakshari is a tug of war of sorts, only it is a linguistic tug of war. The questioner at every instance gives a topic and specifies a chandas or a poetic meter and expects the Avadhani to compose a poem in accordance with all those constraints or restraints. While the Avadhani is doing so, the Prachaka goes on negating every syllable at every instant. For instance, we are now stationed in Delhi and the river Yamuna flows here. So if the questioner asks the performer to compose a verse on the river Yamuna, he will first say, don't use the letter ya at the beginning. Then the performer says ni. Then the questioner probably thinks that he is going to use the word neera, which means water in Sanskrit. Then he negates the syllable ra. Then the performer says Neela, and then the verse goes on unfolding like this. It can take the shape of Neela Kantihi because the river Yamuna is dark in color, the waters are dark in color, and so on. So that is Nishiddhakshari. Dr. Surya Hebbar is a Sanskritist. He holds a PhD in the Sanskrit language. His area of research is Sanskrit poetics or Kavi Samaya, the poetic conventions employed in Sanskrit literature. He works in Samskrita Bharati currently. He has been engaged in various seminal activities such as the Bharati Kosha, Sanskrit Wikipedia, and he is the joint editor of the Sanskrit monthly Sambhashana Sandesha. Once again, I welcome him. The next Prachaka is Shri Arjun Bharadwaj, and he represents the Vibhaga of Samasya Purti. In Samasya Purti, a line or a metrical phrase is posed as a challenge. Samasya basically means poetic challenge, and the Avadhani has to compose a verse adhering to that challenge. The idea is the line given or the metrical phrase will have some sort of redundancy. It could be unsavory, it could have some element of redundancy, it could be vulgar, or it can just be a string of sounds, tan tan ta tan tan ta ta tan ta tan taha, or gulu guggulu guggulu. Anything like that can be posed, but it has to be metrical and it has to have some appropriateness to it. And the Avadhani, he composes a solution to it. There are various examples. I shall not go into the details because it will take some time. Representing that Vibhaga today, we have Shri Arjun Bharadwaj. Arjun is also a very good Sanskritist. He holds a master's degree in Sanskrit and also the German language. He knows Greek, Latin and other European languages. He is currently the contributing editor of the Preksha journal. Arjun is also an exponent of music. He plays the flute and the tabla. Arjun has conducted courses on various aspects of Indian culture such as the Natya Shastra and the various arts. I extend a very warm welcome to Arjun. The next Vibhaga is Dattapadi. In that, four words, incongruous words that are not at all appropriate to the situation, are given by the questioner. Of course, each of these people, they specify a particular topic and also a meter the poet has to use in order to compose that verse. It can be any words culled out, typically not from the language that is employed for versification. For instance, if the Avadhani is composing the verse in Sanskrit today, the questioner typically employs words from another language, entirely removed, far removed from Sanskrit. For instance, English. Ganesh ji himself was asked to compose a verse on Shurpanakha Prasanga from the Ramayana using the words hello, hi, sweet and honey. So you can guess for yourself what are the words like and what is the prasanga that is to be described like. They are very much far removed from one another, but the Avadhani and the questioner also composes a verse using those words in every pada of the meter. A typical Sanskrit verse has 4 feet or padas to it, and the Avadhani uses these 4 words in each foot of the verse. You can see it happening. And in order to pose those 4 words to the Avadhani, we have Dr. Ganesh's long-standing friend, Shri Sudhir Krishnaswamy Kesari. Sudhir is a very warm welcome to him. Sudhir is a man of many talents. He had a sterling career in the software industry. He worked in the far-famed company Infosys, and he is an avid connoisseur of Sanskrit literature. He is a great Sahridaya. Wherever he is, there is the Saurabha of Sanskrit poetry that is there for everyone to savor. And he is interested in many things. He plays the golf and he is a venture capitalist also. For us, he is Samskrita Sahridayata come alive. I extend a very warm welcome to Sudhir. The next Vibhaga is Chitra Kavya or Chitra Kavita, and it is to the singular credit of Shatavadhani Dr. R. Ganesh that Chitra Kavya was even thought of to be incorporated into the fold of Avadhanam. Before Dr. Ganesh, even great performers from Andhra Pradesh had given up on composing Chitra Kavya because it is tremendously difficult to manage. Even when a poet is sitting at the comfort of his home, it takes enormous amount of time and energy and thought and panditya, everything put together. One finds it difficult to compose a Chitra Kavya, but Dr. Ganesh has employed this Vibhaga in hundreds of his Avadhanam performances, and he has composed all varieties of Chitra Kavya. To pose him a question in this regard today, we have Ashtavadhani H.A. Vasuki. Vasuki is also an Avadhani. He works in the software industry, particularly in the semiconductor sphere. Vasuki performs the Ashtavadhanam, this art, in the Sanskrit language. He is a great student of Sanskrit literature. He has studied Vyasa, Valmiki, Kalidasa, all these poets and numerous others in the original. He knows law, he knows history, he is interested in music, and can hold forth on any of these subjects with remarkable insight. I extend a very warm welcome to H.A. Vasuki. The next Vibhaga today is Kavya Vachana, and Kavya Vachana basically brings out how the performer or the poet can explain the compositions of other great poets. So Kavya Vachana, the Prachaka there, culls out verses from the grand repository of Sanskrit literature, sings each verse in each round melodically, and the onus is on the Avadhani to identify the verse and then go about explaining it in a manner that is appealing to all connoisseurs who are present in the assembly. In order to sing those verses today, we have with us Sri Kashyap N. Nayak. I welcome Sri Kashyap. Kashyap again is a student of everything that is ennobling and enriching in Indian culture. He is an advocate. He is the co-partner and founder of Agra Legal, that is based out of numerous states in India, even in Bengaluru. He has practiced music and of Sugama Sangeeta. Basically, he is an exponent of that art form. Kashyap is interested in Dharma Shastra, the Artha Shastra tradition, and he has given several talks that were praised from various quarters, various learned quarters on all these topics. I once again welcome Kashyap Nayak to this assembly. The next Vibhaga is Ashu Kavita or Ashu Kavya. Whereas in all the other components, the Avadhani composes 1 foot of the verse in each of the rounds, 4 rounds. In Ashu Kavya, he is expected to give out an entire verse in one installment, and this is really a standing testimony to the swiftness or the speed with which the Avadhani can compose the verse. And since this does not involve any other restraints, one can savor very good tasteful Sanskrit poetry in this Vibhaga, and I am going to be the questioner today. My name is Shashi Kiran. In the next Vibhaga, we have, so while all these Vibhagas are going on, you already see that the Chittaikagryam, which is expected in Avadhani, is already not established. People are asking him questions in all forms and various ways, but in order to break his concentration, we have 2 specific Vibhagas. One is the Sankhya Bandha. So as you can see there is a 5x5 matrix, and a 3-digit Sankhya is given to an Avadhani at the beginning of the performance, and as and when the performance is going on, the questioner asks the Avadhani. For instance, he might be composing a verse in the Nishiddhakshari, but the Sankhya Bandha Prachaka interjects and say, give me the Sankhya that goes in the 3rd row, 5th column, and the Avadhani has to give that out. So as and when the rows, the columns and the diagonals are added, the digit should add up to the original Sankhya that is given. You will see how that happens. And representing this component today, we have Dr. G.S. Raghavendra. Very warm welcome to him. Raghavendra is a PhD in computer science. He is employed at the Indian Institute of Science, the premier science institution of our country. He studies computer science, and he also, like many others here, is a Sanskrit poet, an Ashukavi, and is interested in Sanskrit literature. He too has studied Vyasa, Valmiki, Kalidasa, and all the other great poets. I once again welcome Raghavendra. Then the Vibhaga that is primarily intended to entertain the audience is Aprastuta Prasanga. And in order to represent that, we have Sri Dr. Ashtavadhani Ramakrishna Pejataya. I extend a very warm welcome to him. Aprastuta Prasanga can involve any question under the face of the sun, but it has to have some propriety to it. You will see it is very entertaining. As Dr. Ganesh puts it himself, it is supposed to provide both modha and bodha. So, like Sankhya Bandha, the questioner interjects at every instance now and then and poses various questions that are supposedly comical and hilarious on the surface, but it can have very profound meanings as well. And that is about the art form of Ashtavadhanam. Now I request Dr. Ganesh to please begin.
Om Tat Sat. Om Tat Sat. Before my presentation, I introduce Sheshikiran also, because he introduced one and all. Sheshikiran is also an engineer. He is trained in mechanical engineering. He was a rank student throughout his career, and he did masters in Sanskrit poetics and aesthetics, and he has written quite a number of books and edited them, translated them, and now he is one among the editors of Preksha. Thank you. I'm extremely beholden to all the people who have organized this, including the Rashtriya Sanskrit Samsthan and IKS, and of course Atharva Foundation, to all the dignitaries here and the representatives of those premier institutions, and to you, the Sahridayas, and all the Delhi poets and Sanskrit lovers, to one and all, I bow down. And it's my duty to bring out the best of mine, whatever small it may be. But in spite of that, it is a very peculiar, tricky lottery. We don't know, it's a peculiar race as such, it's a gambling as such, because we don't know. The syllabus Avadhana is very, very shaky and very grey. So there is nothing like this is the only syllabus of Avadhana. And also, what may be the questions, I don't know. I know that this is Nishedakshara, Samasya, Dattapati, and that's all. And hence, the same curiosity as you have for their questions, me too have. And with that same strangeness and ignorance, I am attempting. And in the Avadhanam, unless specifically said, all the verses of Avadhani are extempore. Because Ashukavitva is the supreme in Avadhana, spontaneity of versification. So let me start that from the first verse of the Avadhana till the last verse. With the prayers, usually I used to recite fresh, usually I used to recite prayers which were long ago composed. Now, for this Avadhana, I shall do that also afresh and start with it. Avadhanam usually starts with the prayer to the Almighty, and then our heartfelt appreciative salutations to the scholars, Prachakas, and to the Sabha, and to the organizers, and it will go on. Brahmananda maham vande rasananda matah param. Brahmananda maham vande rasananda matah param. Upeyopaya bhavena spardhinau yau kavipsite. Upeyopaya bhavena spardhinau yau kavipsite. Tumbidvayam plavana sahyakaram vadhane. Tumbidvayam plavana sahyakaram vadhane. Tumbidvayam plavana sahyakaram vadhana srotasvini tarana karmani vanidehi. Srotasvini tarana karmani vanidehi. Tumbidvayam plavana sahyakaram vadhana srotasvini plavana karmani vanidehi. Dandancha काव्यरचनाध्वनि दण्डञ्च काव्यरचनाध्वनि मेवलम्ब्यं दण्डञ्च काव्यरचनाध्वनि मेवलम्ब्यं मे अवलम्ब्यं प्रावीण्यमाप्तुमिह ते गुणवारमारात्. I am praying Saraswati, she has Veena. To become Praveena in Avadhana, I want your Veena. And Veena has two gourds. I need to flow, to support my flotation in the flood of Avadhana. So I need the gourds, two gourds of the Veena, and the Danda as an avalamba, as a stick of support while walking on the path of poesy. And your Guna also means the string that I need for my words, Ojas, Samasa, Madhurya, and all these things. And Brahmananda is the Upeya, the ultimate thing which you have to realize. And for poets like me, it is Rasananda that is Upaya. And always there is conflict between Brahmananda and Rasananda in our minds. Dehalyam avadhanametad Dehalyam avadhanametad akhila prashna prapanchasura krurakara vidaranaya bhavata dityashaya poshitah. These questions, they will tear me like demons, and that's why I am going to pray Bhagavan Narasimha. He is on the Dehali. Dehalyam avadhana meta dakila. Dehali means threshold. Prashna prapancha asura krurakara vidaranaya bhavata dityashaya poshitah. Dehalyam upavishta mishta manisham. Dehalyam upavishta vishta manisham. Mithya mrigendram. Dehalyam upavishta vishta manisham. Mithya mrigendram bhaje. Prahladastata avirastu sumano vrindeshwamandadaraha. And Prahlada, the rejoicing, the rejoicement that will naturally get unveiled. And the Dehali Narayana, Dehali Narasimha may bless me. And it is the Rashtriya Sanskrit Samsthana. I have no words to thank Dr. Srinivas Varkhedi ji. Since many years he is known to me. Wherever he called me, summoned me, organized Avadhanam, including his stay in Hyderabad, when he was in Kavikulaguru University as Vice Chancellor in the Nagpur, and so in Delhi, and Anjali Paramamudra. He is a great Sahridaya, and he is a great Gunagrahi. Even if you can find out an amount of Guna in me, that itself shows what great Gunagrahi he is. Rashtriya Samskrita Samstha Drashtriva Madhya Vachasi Rashtriya Samskrita Samstha Drashtriva Madhya Vachasi Rashtriya Samskrita Samstha Drashtriva Madhya Vachasi Shastra Sadrikshe. My words are like Shastra. Professor Varkhedi ji knows how caustic I am. But even then, he is so kind. Navata stotram kalayati Kavita savanopayuktaye Gunagatri. Shastra is the riks which are meant for chanting in a yajna. And stotra are the samans, Samavedas. And so my words are like Shastra. And because of the blessings of people like Varkhedi ji and Rashtriya Sanskrit Samsthana, it shall become Sama. Sama also means soberness. My harsh weapons may become soft and sweet. And to this yajna of to this Saraswati yajna, to this literary yajna, Both stotra and shastra are needed. Rik and sama. Let it happen so. Vastu tantra vivekamananda nishthitam. Vastu tantra vivekamananda nishthitam. Prastuti kritya pravartayet. Prastuti kritya pravartatamnaha. Prastuti kritya pravartatamnaha. Prastuti kritya pravartatamnaha. Bharatiya jnana saraniritti. Bharatiya jnana saranirityashasya. Bharatim paribhavaye madiyam. Bharatim paribhavaye madiyam. What my request towards IKS is, let it adhere to Vastu Tantra as expounded by people like Shankar Bhagavad-pada, more than running behind the Kartra Tantra, which is temporal and incidental. The immortality and absolute truth is in the Vastu Tantra, and that is rooted in Ananda. What is the quintessence of Sanatana Dharma? It is Ananda, Ananda, Ananda. That's all. Anando Brahmano Vidvanna Bibeti Kutaschana Ka Pranyat Ko Va Anyat Yadyesha Akasha Anando Nasyat. If Ananda were not to be here, nobody would have moved, nobody would have dreamt, nobody would have breathed. That is Ananda. That's very, very important. And so Ananda, universal Ananda, is the contribution of India. All other religions, all other countries, they say it is sorrow, it is sorrow, it is pain, it is sin. But we said Ananda. So this Amrita Putra, as it is said in the Kathopanishad and expounded later beautifully by Swami Vivekananda and others, that should become the guiding force, and let it be that. Our Ruchiji has troubled herself a lot, and our Atharva Forum has worked a lot. All these have to be thanked, because more than Kartru, the Karayitri is more important. The IKS or Rashtriya Sanskrit Samsthana or Atharva and you people, you are making the Avadhana. Making others' work is much more difficult than we doing ours. So your Avadhana is greater. Atharvanena mantrena pratyuha shamanam yatha तथा तर्वण तंत्रेण भवे नैरस्य नाशनम. We know in Natya Shastra, rasan atharvana adapi. So atharva brings rasa. And so in the yajnas, I am very fond of yajna and the metaphor of yajna, because our culture is entirely rooted in yajna. And that's why in so many poems of mine I go to yajna. Atharva mantra is used to vanquish and ward off all the evils. So this Atharva Tantra, there the Atharva Mantra is doing the Atharva Tantra, let it ward off the Nairasya, anything which may creep in to Avadhanam through me, let it all be warded off. And we have people like Sampadananda Mishra and many others from Delhi who are interested in Sanskrit literature and language. औत्तराः कविकोविदान्वितम् माधवं वनमिदं लसेत्सदः दाक्षिणात्यपवमान सन्निभेनावधान विधिनाधुना मुदा दाक्षिणात्यपवमान सन्निभेनावधान विधिनाधुना मुदा. To North Indian scholars and poets and to connoisseurs, this South Indian version of Avadhana may bring Malayanila, as Malaya mountains are close to our land. Let it be that. From the Sankhya Bandha itself, the Avadhana starts. Let me recite a verse on Raghavendra also. Sankhya Baddho Yatha Treta Raghavendras Tatha Hyasau. Sankhya Baddho Yatha Treta Raghavendras Tatha Hyasau. Sankhya Bandhena, Sankhyavan, he got recently doctorate, so Sankhyavan Pandita Kavi. Sankhya Bandhena, Sankhyavan, Prasankhyanam Runadhime. Prasankhyanam is my concentration. He is going to disturb me with this. Please, the number.
Good afternoon, everyone. The number for today's Avadhana is 559.
559. Katapaya Nimeshanantaram Kripaya. And of course, व्यजतायवर्यः अस्त्येव वन्दे भवन्तं किमर्थं प्रथमम् इति न वच्मि कर्मतिं किं तन्न कथ्यते उद्देशः किं न कथ्यते
प्रथमं किमर्थमिति मया ऊहितं भवता पूर्वमुक्तं ब्रह्मानन्दमहं वन्दे रसानन्दमतः परम् इति अतः ब्रह्मानन्दस्वरूपम् अप्रस्तुतप्रसङ्गिनं भवान् वन्दमानः अस्ति इति मया विज्ञातं
रामकृष्णपेजत्तायः अत्यन्तं सज्जनः अत्यन्तं कोविदः अत्यन्तं स्निग्धश्च तस्मै अत्यन्तं तमां स्निह्यामि अहं रामवद्दक्षिणो वाचा कृष्णवद्वचनोत्तरः रामकृष्णसुधीरेश प्रस्तुते स्थितः प्रस्तुतः अप्रस्तुते स्थितः
सुधीरकृष्णस्वामिवर्यमपि योजयित्वा
सज्जनं तदनन्तरं
रामकृष्णसुधीरेश इति सुधीरवर्यस्यापि अत्रैव आगतं किम् उत
किमपि कथयामि निषेधाक्षर 515 कालवर्णस्य तमसो निषेधा सूर्य एव नः sun always dispels darkness कालवर्णस्य तमसो निषेधा सूर्य एव नः प्रतिवर्णं निराकर्तुं लब्धवर्ण उपागतः प्रतिवर्णं निराकर्तुं लब्धवर्णः धीमान् सूरिकृति कृष्टिर्लब्धवर्णो विचक्षणः स्कालर् has come
सर्वेभ्यः नमस्काराः यस्मिन् विश्वविद्यालये प्राक्शास्त्रीतः विद्यावारिधिपर्यन्तं कृतवान् तथैव वाणीं प्रवर्तितवान् तस्य विद्यालयस्यैव वेदिकायाम् अद्य वाणीरोधनं करणीयमिति सन्तोषेण आनन्देन च मध्ये कर्मणि प्रवर्तनं करोमि यागप्रियः गणेशवर्यः इत्युक्तं वस्तुतः गणेशवर्यः निषेधाक्षर्यां स्रग्धरा छन्दसि अहं निषेधाक्षरं करोमि चेदपि कर्तुं समर्थः अस्ति परन्तु तथा करणं अवधाने औचित्यं नावहति तथा कृत्वा परमलघुछन्दः यत्किमपि वदामि चेत् तदपि अनौचित्यं भजते यथा अश्वमेधयागं कर्तुं समर्थः कश्चित् अत्यन्तलघुयागे भवान् लघुयागं करोतु इति वदामि चेत् यथा भवति तथा अनौचित्यं भवति अतः वस्तु उद्यानम् इति वस्तु उद्यानं छन्दः मञ्जुभाषिणी भवतु रथोद्धतायाः अग्रजः
अवधानिन् तस्मै अग्रे इत्युक्तं मह्यं किं दूरे इत्युच्यते
कथ्यतां कृपया
इदम् अष्टावधानं खलु
आमां सन्देहः सञ्जातः
न अहं किञ्चित् खात्रीकुर्वन् अस्मि
मञ्जुभाषिण्याम् उद्यानवर्णनं प्रथमाक्षरं
सकारः
निषिद्धः सुमानि नायान्तु इति अपेक्षया he is avoiding flowers itself in the udyana can exist in winter also
ला निषिध्यते
न
तकारः निषिध्यते
मा
अवधानिन् तस्य प्रश्नस्य उद्देश्यम् अन्यदासीत् अष्टावधानमित्युच्यते एतावदैव 10 पद्यानि भवता उक्तान्येव सन्ति आदौ मङ्गलपद्यरूपेण 7 पद्यानि युक्तानि 3 पृच्छकान् विषयीकृत्य पुनस्त्रीणि पद्यानि
न जाने
तर्हि इतः परं यद्यत् दास्यते तत्सर्वम् इण्ट्रेस्ट् रूपेण वर्तते वा
न मया गणितम् अहं गणितप्रतिभाशाली न अगणितप्रतिभाशाली स्वप्नेपि तदा तदा आयान्ति दुःस्वप्नाः अहं गणितपरीक्षां न जाने गणितपरीक्षा अस्ति इत्येव विस्मृतप्रायो विषयः ड्रीम्स् मेनी टैम्स् I had nightmares forgetting that I had an exam in mathematics and then waking up immediately with shock that's how I am very poor in mathematics
रेफः निषिध्यते
मकार निषेध
रेफः
जनमाद
नकारः निषिध्यः नकारः
हाँ क
Avdhanin.
जनमादकं जनमादकं
Avdhanin.
आमां
First row, first number.
फर्स्ट रो फर्स्ट नंबर I shall give some work to you.
कः वर्णः उक्तः कम् इति अनुस्वारसहितः
हाँ you please add 502 to 24 559 502 102 to 24 102 to 24
रेफः निषिद्धः
जनमादकं
रेफः निषिद्धः
हाँ ल
सकारः निषिध्यते
ल शीघ्रतया
नकारः
ति
तर्हि
जनमादकं ललति जनमादकं ललति
तर्हि अहं किञ्चित् पृच्छामि यदा महान् रश् अथवा
आम्,
crowd
सम्मर्दः।
भवति, हा सम्मर्दः इति शब्दः उच्यते खलु। वस्तुतः पुरुषाणां बाहुल्ये सम्मर्दः इति वक्तुं शक्यते, एवं खलु। पुरुषाणां बाहुल्ये सम्मर्दः इति वक्तुं शक्यते। स्त्रीणां बाहुल्ये किं वक्तव्यं?
स्त्रीणां बाहुल्येनैव सम्मर्दो भवति इति हेतुना युज्यते एव
मया तु किमपि सम्मर्दानि इति किमपि वक्तव्यम्। अस्तु, धन्योऽस्मि।
जनानां मर्दाना एवं चिन्तितं वा भवता?
न, तदेव तस्य शब्दस्य
मम प्रवेशः एव नास्ति तत्र ब्रह्मचारी
निषेधः नास्ति
जनमानसं ललति जनमादकं ललति
निषेधः नास्ति
as the word has completed word is complete there is no meaning in making any nishedha there is no meaning at all and that's why he is showing so much of generosity thanks a lot for that generosity
Avdhanin.
Chandra will not show generosity to Ganesha only Surya will show
Avdhanin. I will not show that generosity to you. So, Antimam Gruham.
antimam 100 जनमादकं ललति जनमादकं ललति स
रेफः निषिध्यते
स्य
सकारः निषिध्यते
अनुप्रास प्रीतिं मम जानाति अयं he is knowing my weakness and playing on my weakness because I am very fond of alliteration sasya sankulam something immediately it will come to me he is avoiding it
इदानीं तावत् वीक्नेस् न भवति, वीकेण्ड्नेस् भवेत्। अद्य वीकेण्ड् अस्ति, वीक् डेस् समाप्तानि।
वीक्नेस् तावत् वीकेण्ड् मध्ये एव विराजते जनमादकं ललति सस्य
शीघ्रम्
आम्
प्राप्तः किं ध्यानयोगः?
जनमादकं ललति सस्य सकारे एव गच्छति मनः सस्य शा
ल निषिध्यते लकार
जनमान शाली इति वदामि इति निश्चित्य तेन लकारो निषिद्धः जनमादकं ललति सस्य शा अर्ङ्गि 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 शार्ङ्गि सस्य शार्ङ्गि
तकारः निषिध्यते त
नो सस्य शार्ङ्गिणो
नो
जनमानसं ललति जनमादकं ललति सस्य शार्ङ्गिणो रूपकं कृतम् इतोपि समस्या मयैव आनीता मधुपरि रूपकालङ्कारः कृतः सस्य शार्ङ्गी इति सस्य नारायणः इति जनमानसो जनमादकं ललति सस्य शार्ङ्गिणो now it is samasya the meaning will not be revealed now itself nishedhaksharas lines meaning Sanskritist will understand but even their understanding may not be the actual thing because if I tell that he will be knowing the ways and that's why I want to conceal the reality avarana and vikshepa both are maya karya avadhana is a maya and now samasya स्वशेमुषी यशः पुष्पैः अर्जुनीकृत्य देहलीं स्वशेमुषी यशः पुष्पैरर्जुनीकृत्य देहलीं समस्यासायकं धत्ते समस्यासायकं धत्ते रसनाकार्मुके अर्जुनः रसनाकार्मुके अर्जुनः. He is shooting the arrow of samasya by taking the very mouth as his bow. And he has already beautified Delhi with his learning and all. Many times he has visited, he is frequent visitor to Delhi, and in various quarters he is very popular also. So he is that engagingly versatile scholar in various aspects. I will request him, कृपया समस्यां ददातु.
नमस्सर्वेभ्यः, धन्योऽस्मि अवधानेन. समस्या पङ्क्तिरस्ति. स्थाणुः किलाभूत् सहसा द्विनेत्रः.
स्थाणुः
स्थाणुः किलाभूत् सहसा द्विनेत्रः.
स्थाणुः किलाभूत् सहसा द्विनेत्रः. स्थाणुः किलाभूत् सहसा द्विनेत्रः. स्थाणुः किलाभूत् सहसा द्विनेत्रः. स्थाणुः किलाभूत् सहसा द्विनेत्रः. This samasya can be solved in several ways. If time permits at the end, I will give the other one or two alternatives. I shall take.
काचित् गभीरा समस्या अस्ति.
Huh?
मम काचित् गभीरा समस्या कस्मिंश्चित्
जानुदग्नः अहं तत्र.
कस्मिंश्चित् कार्यक्रमे माम् अतिथिरूपेण आहूतवन्तः आसन्. तैरुक्तं कार्यक्रमं प्रति आगन्तुं यः कोऽपि भवता व्ययः कृतः तत्सर्वम् अस्माभिः रियम्बर्स्मेण्ट् क्रियते इति. मया तावत् तर्हि सर्वं रियम्बर्स्मेण्ट् क्रियते खलु. मया सम्मण्डनीं गत्वा ब्यूटी पार्लर् गत्वा हेर् स्ट्रैटनिङ्ग् फेशियल् सर्वं कारितं. तस्य बिल् अपि प्रायेण 8,000 वा, अधिकं न अभूत्, 8,000 वा 9,000 वा रूप्यकाणि अभवन्. तैः कार्यक्रमार्थमेव मया एतत् सर्वं कृतमासीत्. मया तत्र समर्पितमपि, तैः रियम्बर्स्मेण्ट् न कृतं. न, इदानीं मम समस्या परिहर्तव्या भवद्भिः. धनं
अवश्यं वयं कविताधनाः, तस्मात् कवितारूपेण धनं यच्छामः. स्थाणुः किलाभूत् सहसा द्विनेत्रः. स्थाणुः किलाभूत् सहसा द्विनेत्रः. स्थाणुः किलाभूत् सहसा द्विनेत्रः.
अवधानेन मध्यमं गृहं.
मध्यमं गृहं.
मध्यगृहं
महाप्राणो विद्यते इति रक्षितोऽहं. 111. स्थाणुः किलाभूत् सहसा द्विनेत्रः.
तर्हि मध्यमगृहं त्रिनामधन्यम् इति वक्तुं शक्यते खलु, यथा स्वनामधन्यः इति.
तृतीयनेत्राग्निहतोऽपि 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 मारः. तृतीयनेत्राग्निहतोऽपि मारः. तृतीयनेत्राग्निहतोऽपि मारः. The Lord of Love, Manmatha, is burnt by the third eye's fire of Shiva. In spite of that, Tritiya-netra-agni-hato-api maraha, Sudhira. Sudhir is a versatile person. His wit is extraordinary, and his panditya, he is basically pandita. His puns are marvelous. Shlesha-praya mudityeshu iti khyatim tu parastam kartumeva aham agata iti manye dakshinatyah. औदिच्याः दाक्षिणात्याः इति वर्तन्ते खलु. औदिच्याः दाक्षिणात्याः उत्तराः इति पश्चिमाः इत्येवं श्लेषप्रायमुदीत्येषु इत्याह बाणभट्टः. अयं तावत् दाक्षिणात्येषु श्लेषः इति. वयं तावत् दाक्षिणात्याः उत्प्रेक्षावल्लभाः, उत्प्रेक्षा दाक्षिणात्येषु इति. परन्तु अयं तु श्लेषो दाक्षिणात्यानाम् इति एवं प्रभवति. पदानां सम्पदां कृत्स्नं पदानां सम्पदां कृत्स्नं कोशः काशति कीर्तिं कोशः काशति कीर्तिं कोशः काशति खेलनः कोशः काशति खेलनः. In our friendly circle, he is always called as Koshadhipati because he has so much of knowledge and felicity in various koshas like Amara, Vajayanti and others, and that's why he is called Koshadhikari. And he had lot of books also, even when internet was unheard and unthought of. Even in those days, he had plenty of Sanskrit books. His collection is a very valuable collection of Sanskrit classics, poetry especially. So that's why he's Koshadhikari. Padanam Sampadam Kritsnam Koshakashati. Koshakashati. Koshakhelati Kirtiman, Koshakhelati Kirtiman, Koshakhelati Kirtiman, Koshakhelati Kirtiman, Shlishtartha Kama Kamropi, Shlishtartha Kama Kamropi, Shlishtarthe Kama Yutopi, Shlishtartha Kama Kamropi, Sudhiro, Sudhirah, Sudhirah Padamastitah, Sudhirah Padamastitah. Kripaya.
Welcome to all. Namaskar. The topic for today is Arunodaya.
Aha, beautiful topics. Udyanam, Arunodaya.
And I have chosen 4 English words to be used.
I expected you will do such things.
One in each pada. The first word is wig.
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 Wig, wig.
Wig.
I need it.
The second word is jog. Jog.
Jog.
Jog.
Oh, wig, jog.
In the pronunciation, there can be a slight difference in it. It may become
yes.
jog. The third word is punk.
Punk. Wig, jog, punk.
And the last is vim. Vim and vigor. Vim.
Vim.
Vim. V-I-M.
Yes,
V-I-M. Vim.
Wig, jog, punk, vim.
Arunodaya Varna.
Meter?
I think Shardula is well suited for this.
Morning Vasanta Tilaka.
Why not?
Suprabhata Vrittam idam. Kalidasadibhi sukirtitamasti.
विग् आवश्यकम् इति भवद्भिः उक्तं खलु न
लोकदशा अहं शोभनस्यामिति
न इदानीं विग् न आवश्यकम् इदानीम् आवश्यकं नास्ति वनं गच्छति चेत् कान्तारं गच्छति चेत् पर्याप्तं तत्र किञ्चित् सोप्पु लभ्यते
मम नाम तु विघ्नेश्वरस्य पर्यायत्वेन विद्यते इति हेतुना इदानीमेव विघ्नेश्वरः इति जातः
विग् अस्ति चेत् विघ्नेश्वरः इति वक्तव्यं विग् नास्ति चेत् विघ्ने न ईश्वरः इति वक्तव्यम्
अत्र वैयाकरणः प्रमाणं नमस्तेभ्यः घटोपविष्टानिव वाग्भिरर्थैः शब्दापयामः शब्दावगमज्ञान् खलु सान्त्वयामः आप्लुत्य भल्लूकवदापतन्तः कथन्नुजय्याय गौतमीयाः इत्याह तत्र भवान् नीलकण्ठदीक्षितः केवलं वैयाकरणानां यथा ट्याक्स् पेयिङ्ग् कृत्वा अग्रे गन्तुं शक्यं तथा कथञ्चित् कविब्रुवाः प्रयोगसाफल्यं दर्शयित्वा पलायन्ते वैयाकरणपिशाचं प्रयोगमन्त्रैर्निवारयन्ति बुधाः इत्यपि वर्तते आबाणकः इदानीं विग्
अवधाने द्वे गृहे ददातु
आम्
सेकेंड रो सेकेंड कॉलम फोर्थ रो फोर्थ कॉलम
सेकेंड रो सेकेंड कॉलम 114 सेकेंड रो सेकेंड कॉलम 114 फोर्थ रो फोर्थ कॉलम 114 कथितं खलु अत्र 112 नहीं 110 सेकेंड रो सेकेंड कॉलम 114 अभूत् खलु तदनन्तरं फोर्थ रो फोर्थ कॉलम 108 विग जॉग पन पंक विग जॉग पंक and vim arunodayasya varnanam we read it in a serious manner or humorous manner
हरस्तु किञ्चित् परिलुप्तधैर्यश्चन्द्रोदयारम्भैवाम्बुराशिः उमामुखे बिम्ब फलाधरोष्ठे व्यापारयामास विलोचनानि अन्त्याक्षरीं क्रीडितुम्
आमाम् नाहं याचे पदमुडुपतेर्नाधिकारं मघोनः नापि ब्राह्मीं भुवनगुरुतां काकतान्यप्रपञ्चे अन्यस्यान्यस्थितिमभिलषन्नस्तु कस्तस्य लोकः शम्भो मह्यं दिशमसृणितं मामकानन्दमेव
वल्गत्कुचं परिजहास सभावलोके मान्द्रौपदी मणिभुवि स्खलितं यदुच्चैः तत्साधुजातमिति वक्तुमिव स्नुषां स्वां मत्प्राणवायुरयमुत्क्रमणेच्छुरास्ते
तीरे तरुण्या वदनं सहासं नीरे सरोजस्य मिलद्विकासम् आलोक्य धावत्युभयत्र मुग्धा मरन्दलुब्धालिकिशोरमाला
लाङ्गूलचालनमधश्चरणावपातं
भूमौ निपत्य वदनोदरदर्शनञ्च
श्वापिण्डदस्य कुरुते गजपुङ्गवस्तु धीरं विलोकयति चाटुशतैश्च भुङ्क्ते।
तकारः समापयामि। अनृणीस्याम अनृणास्याम इह अमुत्र अनृणास्याम परत्र इत्याह खलु वेदः। तटेऽपि तस्या घटपूरणस्य श्रुत्वार्वं बृंहितनादशङ्की शरण्योऽपि मुमोच बाणं मुनिस्तनूजं मनुवंशकेतुः। त्वदीयं वस्तु गोविन्द तुभ्यमेव समर्प्यते। तकारः
मम तु आत्मरण्यं नास्ति, अहं ऋणं स्वीकृत्य कस्मैचिदपि न प्रत्यर्पयामि। तस्मात्
This is Antyakshari in between called as Pratimala in Vatsyayana's Kama Sutra. Among the 64 arts, Pratimala is one. This exchange of verses from the classical texts. Now, Vigna. Vignangana. Vignangana Nayana. Vignangana Nayana Taraka. विज्ञांगनानयन तारक विज्ञांगनानयन तारक पंक्ति तुल्या विज्ञांगनानयन तारक पंक्ति तुल्या। परंतु तेन अभीप्सितं चतुर्थे पादे आगन्तव्यमिति प्रतियೊಂದು ಪಾದದಲ್ಲಿ तृतीय पाद विज्ञांगना नयन तारक पंक्ति तुल्य। चित्रकविता आम् वदामि सर्प इति स एव शब्दः प्रेरयति मां। चित्रकाव्यफणां बिभ्रन् चित्रकाव्यफणां व्यात्तां बिभ्रन्नपि सुधा सुहृत् चित्रकाव्यफणां व्यात्तां बिभ्रन्नपि सुधा सुहृत्। वासुकिशास्ति सूक्तीनां निधिभाण्डं वासुकिशास्ति सूक्तीनां निधिभाण्डं रसाहितं रसायाम् आहितं निधिभाण्डं। Vasuki is a serpent. He protects the wealth which is hidden under the earth. So Vasuki is that Vasuki Naga, in spite of showing the Chitrakavya with a very fierce way of versification as a wide hood, he has Sudha Suhritva because he was the instrumental cause in churning the ocean of milk and bringing out Amrita. And that's why Vasuki's Chitrakavya will make me come out with a beautiful or at least a palatable verse because he is Sudha Suhrit and Vasuki Shasti.
सभायै नमः वधाने नमः। चित्रकविता विभागे वसन्तर्तुं विषयीकृत्य अष्टदलपद्मबन्धे कवयतु।
पूर्वम् अवधानपरिचयावसरे उक्तमेव, तथापि एतदर्थं कथयन्नस्मि। चित्रकविता इति विभागः वस्तुतः दुश्यकः। तन्नाम सः बन्धः यदा अक्ष्णोः पुरतः भवति तदानीमपि योग्यानाम् अक्षराणां तत्र निवेशः कर्तव्यः दुश्यकः भवति। अयं बन्धोऽपि इदानीं बुद्ध्या एव कल्पनीयः भवति, तस्मात् अत्यन्तं काठिन्यं जनयति। गणेशवर्येण अवधानाङ्गत्वेन योजितेषु अङ्गेषु अयं मुख्यतमः अपि च सर्वेषामपि चित्ताकर्षकः भवति। एवञ्च आशुकविताविभागेपि चतुर्षु चक्रेषु 4 पद्यानि इति कृत्वा वस्तुतः समस्या चतुर्गुणीकृता गणेशवर्येण। तन्नाम चालेञ्ज् इति यदुच्यते तत् चतुर्गुणं कृतं। क्वचित् केषुचित् अवधानेषु अथवा कैश्चित् अवधानेभिः वर्णनम् इति कश्चन विभागः स्वीक्रियते, यत्र आशुकवितायामपि 4 चक्रेषु 4 पादाः, प्रतिचक्रम् एकैकः पादः इति, तत्रापि एकमेव पद्यम् अन्ततो गत्वा परन्तु गणेशवर्यैः चतुर्षु पादेषु 4 पृथक् पृथक् पद्यानि दीयन्ते। पुनः आदौ अपि पृच्छकानां विषये किञ्चित् पद्यमिति प्रायेण अष्टावधानमपि अवरतः 30 अवधानं 40 अवधानं वा कुर्वन्ति। अन्ततो तेषां हृदयं तथा भवति यत् सर्वम् अलङ्कृतं सुन्दरं भवतु इति। अतः तया धिया अत्यन्तम् अस्माभिः द्रष्टव्यम् अभिनन्दनीयञ्च इति विवृणोमि।
नमो नमः। कलालीलाकरस्सारः कलालीलाकरस्सारः कलाहेलाकरस्सारः 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 कलाहेलाकरस्सारः। हाँ यथा आकाशभाषितम् एवम् आकाशलेखितम्।
पञ्चमं गृहम्।
आम्, पञ्चमं गृहम्। इदानीं द्वितीयपादे द्वितीयगृहे यद्दत्तं तदपेक्षया संख्याद्वयम् अधिकं 116।
अवधानी आवास योजना वर्तते। अत्र गृहाणि एते एव प्राप्नुवन्तः सन्ति। भवन्तोपि अभिलषन्ति चेत् एकैकं गृहम्
उत्तमं खलु संख्यावान् इति तदर्थं जानाति। इदानीं काव्यवाचनम्। आशुकविता। शशिकिरणस्तु मयि बहुधा स्निह्यति। मम अत्यन्तं साहाय्यं करोति मम। तेन विना तृणमपि न चलति इव। मम कार्याणि शशिकिरणेन विना न मनागपि अग्रे गच्छन्ति। I am very much beholden to him as he is my God-given gift. In so many of my writings and so many of my activities, his active participation is highly valuable. But his name is very difficult to bring into Anushtup. Though he is very fond of shloka meter, shloka will not accommodate him. Shloka also means kirti. He is averse to name and fame as well. There are many Gupta Danis who give charity without making any announcement of that. So he is Gupta Karma. He does so many good things without even revealing them. So I have to come to some other verse. Anavadya vidya, anavadya padya vidya, anavadya padya vidya, Shriman Shashikiranaye, anavadya padya vidya, Shriman Shashikiranaye, कविवर्णः वशिवर्णः अनवद्यपद्यविद्या अनवद्यपद्यविद्या श्रीमान् शशिकिरणयेश वशिवर्णः सत्वरकविता सवितुर्जित्वर सत्वरकविता सवितुर्जित्वर भाषोभितो भवत्यभितः जित्वर भाषोभितो भवत्यभितः अभितः। वस्तु
प्रथमो विषयः पर्वतः।
गणेशवर्यैः यदभिहितं तस्य सारः एवमस्ति। एताभ्यां मिलित्वा प्रायेण काव्यमपि लिखितमस्ति। न केवलं ग्रन्थाः, काव्यमपि लिखितं वर्तते। काव्यलेखने तावत् उभयोः हृदयसंवादः अपि अत्यन्तम् आवश्यकः भवति। कवियुगलं, कर्णाटकभाषां युगलकवि इति कश्चन शब्दः प्रसिद्ध्यति। अत्र कवियुगलम् इदं शस्यम्।
प्रावृण्मेघवरैर्युवा शिखर्णि प्रावृण्मेघवरैर्युवा शिखिरिणि प्रावृण्मेघवरैर्युवा शिखरसं प्रावृण्मेघवरैर्युवा प्रावृण्मेघवरैर्युवा शिखरगैः प्रावृण्मेघवरैर्युवा वृद्धस्तथा हैमने वृद्धस्तथा शारदैः वृद्धस्तथा शारदैः वृद्धस्तथा शारदैः वासन्ते वनराजि वाससि 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 वनराजि वाससि वलल्लावण्यगण्यः पुमान् वलल्लावण्यगण्यः पुमान् हेमन्ते तु दिगम्बर हेमन्ते तु दिगम्बर हेमन्ते तु दिगम्बर हेमन्ते तु दिगम्बर हेमन्ते तु हेमन्ते तु दिगम्बर 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 प्रथयते हेमन्ते तु दिगम्बर प्रथयते हेमन्ते तु दिगम्बर प्रथते हेमन्ते तु दिगम्बर कलयते हेमन्ते तु दिगम्बर कलयते हेमन्ते तु दिगम्बर कलयते हेमन्ते तु दिगम्बर कलयते दिगम्बर कलयते कैलासनाथ प्रमां ग्रीष्मार्चिर्दलितोऽपि निश्चलधिया ग्रीष्मार्चिर्दलितोऽपि निश्चलधिया धीमानिव भ्राजते चतुर्थपादोऽस्ति धीमानिव भ्राजते The mountain looks like an young man in the rainy season because of the dark clouds which move all around his peak. And in the next season, it is in the season of autumn, all the clouds will become white in color. They lose water, and so they will be pale. And so you become an old man. And you become an young man in the beautiful spring, where everything will be brightened with flowers and greenery. But in the winter, you lose everything and you start challenging Mahadeva. You start remembering Mahadeva. And now in the summer, in spite of the scorching heat, you are unshaken. You stand supreme like a Dhiman. Now, the Kavya Vachana. Before Kashyap comes with his mellifluous voice, let me make my attempts in the way of a crow. Incidentally, he is a Kashyapa, so also me. Matsagotropi gatasau, nayakah kavyadayakah, aham vinayaka prakyah, Ganesha and Vinayaka synonyms. Aham vinayaka prakyah, kintu raga khyaya shrutah. I am Vinayaka. I am not at all good in music. In spite of that, my name is Ra Ganesha. So he has to take me in to his music. Kalindi bahula pravaharbhasam Kalindi bahula pravaharbhasam
कालिन्दी बहुलप्रवाहरभसं संस्तम्भयं तत्क्षणात् संस्तम्भयं तत्क्षणात् शैलान् विद्रवयन् शैलान् विद्रवयन् मृगान् विवशयन् शैलान् विद्रवयन् मृगान् विवशयन् गोबृन्दमानन्दयन् गोबृन्दमानन्दयन् गोपान् सम्भ्रमयन् गोपान् सम्भ्रमयन् मुनीन् मुकुलयन् गोपान् सम्भ्रमयन् मुनीन् मुकुलयन् सप्तस्वरान् झुम्भ्रयन् सप्तस्वरान् झृम्भयन् सानि पनि पम पमरे मरे स सप्तस्वरान् झृम्भयन् ओंकारार्थम् ओंकारार्थम् ओंकारार्थमुदीरयन् विजयते ओंकारार्थमुदीरयन् विजयते वंशीनिनादः शिशोः वंशीनिनादः शिशोः वंशीनिनादः 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 शिशोः
चेतः पञ्जरवर्तिनं चेतः पञ्जरवर्तिनं हरिमयम् चेतः पञ्जरवर्तिनं हरिमयं हरिमयं सत्पक्षसल्लक्षणं सत्पक्षसल्लक्षणं लीलाकीरमहं भजामि सततं लीलाकीरमहं भजामि सततं लीलाकीरमहं भजामि लीलाकीरमहं भजामि लीलाकीरमहं भजामि रसिकप्रीत्यै तु लीलाशुकं लीलाकीरमहं भजामि रसिकप्रीत्यै तु लीलाशुकं रसिकप्रीत्यै तु लीलाशुकं बृन्दारण्यविनोदिनः कलमधुन्मादस्य बृन्दारण्यविनोदिनः खलमधुन्मादस्य गोपा खलमधुन्मादस्य वेणुस्वन खलमधुन्मादस्य वेणुस्वन कलमधुन्मादस्य वेणुस्वन ध्यानं ध्यानं वेणुस्वन ध्यानं यो रचयां बभूव ध्यानं यो रचमयां बभूव शुभकृत् ध्यानं यो रचनां बभूव रचयां बभूव शुभकृत् शुभकृत् मेघाभिरामैः पदैः मेघरागेण बहु रमणीयतया कश्यपवर्येण गीतं लीलाशुकस्य कृष्णकर्णामृतं काव्यस्य रमणीयतमं पद्यं कृष्णस्य वेणुवादनस्य मधुरिमा कथं जरीजृम्भते इति निर्दिशति सः कालिन्दी बहुलप्रवाहरभसं संस्तम्भयन् तक्षणात् शैलान् विद्रवयन् मृगान् विवशयन् गोवृन्दमानन्दयन्. You just see the beauty of the great poetry. First he takes the jada, that's the water, and jada and yet dynamic. Jada sannapi chalanashilaha, that is one padartha. Kalindi bahula pravaha rabasam samstambhayan. The magic of the divine flute of Krishna would make it freeze. It will get frozen. Kalindi bahala pravaha rabasan. So it loses its swabhava. It loses its bhava and becomes chidbhava. And Shailan Vidravyan, the opposite happens. The mountains, the nature of mountain is to be sturdy and stand still. But they get melted. Shailan Vidravyan, Mrigan Vivashayan. The nature of deer is to run here and there. But they become quiet and cool. Mrigan Vivashayan, Govrindam Anandayan. And cows are dancing. And here you see, wild animal is deer. Domesticated animal is cow. And Gopan Vibhramayan, the Gopalakas, the cowboys, they're enchanted. Usually the boys, in the adolescent age, they want to show their smartness. They will never let loose their emotions easily. They always try to show off. But they have lost all their glamour and charisma because in front of the magical flute, nobody can pretend their existence. They have to exist with the Lord. In the Brahman, they should become one with it. And Gopan Vibhravayan, Munin Mukulayan. Even the saints went inwardly. Mukula means closer. They were already in Brahma Dhyana. Perhaps they would have entered into Parabrahma Dhyana. Paramamupadesha madriyadvam nigamavaneshu nitantachara kinnaha upanishadarthamulu vichinuta bhavaneshu vallakinam upanishadarthamulu khale nibaddham. Oh Pandits, oh mendicants, why you are roaming in the wilderness, in the dense forest? Your message of the Upanishads, the very essence of the Upanishads is tied to the pounding stone in some cowherd's village. Upanishadartham ulukale nibaddham advaita vidhi patikairupasya swarajya simhasana baddha diksha chiram vayena pihatena tena dasikrita gopavadhu vitena. Dasikrita Gopavadhu Vitena. Madhusudan Saraswati, champion of Advaita, says, we have been enslaved by this Gopavadhu Vita, by this boy, the cowherd boy, who always revolves around the cowherd woman. That has been the case. We being the champions of Advaita, we have lost our heart for him. And this is the charm of Krishna. This is the beauty of Krishna. And Munin Mukulayan, so the Munis, Dhyanabhyasa Vashikratena Manasa Tanirgunam Nishkriyam Jyoti Kinchana Yadi Param Pashyantu Te Asmakam Todadeva Lochana Chamatkara Yabhuyachiram Kalindi Pulinodare Kamapiyan Neelam Mahodhavati. Again from Madhusudan Saraswati. Let the saints and all, they get their Parabrahma Nirguna and Nishkriya. They shall be happy in their own way. But we are so happy with the blue light which is moving all around the banks of Yamuna. And Delhi is blessed. In spite of its pollution, in spite of natural and political pollution, we have the divine Yamuna, who has the sweet touch of Krishna, who has taken the sweat of Krishna, who has taken everything of Krishna. So he says, Munin Mukalayan Saptaswaran Jrumbhayan, and is evoking the seven swaras. By that, if anyone stops, he is Mahakavi. He becomes Rishikavi. Omkarartham udhirayan vijayate vamshini nadashishoho. And that magic flute has raised up to the level of Omkara. From the art music to divine music, to to the music of ritual, to the music of meditation, to the music of Parabrahma, etat samagaya naste ha uha uha, like that. And here is the beauty of our culture. From the waters of Yamuna, from the mountains around Vrindavana to Omkarartha Mudirayan. And that is the magical spell of Shishu. Omkarartha Mudirayan Vijayate. Vamshinada Shishoho. Sorry. When Krishna comes to my mind, if Leela Shuka and Krishna means my avadhana should stop. Like Kalindi, Bhavala Prabhahar Absam Samstambahin. So we shall go to the second round. Again, coming back to mundane Nishedakshara. But here again.
Even more mundane Sankhya Bandha.
I was in the seventh heaven of Vedanta, you have bringing to Sankhya. Sankhya has no Ananda as per our systems of philosophy. It has only Sat and Chit, not Ananda. Please.
Navamam Gruham.
Navamam Gruham. It's fourth house in the second row.
I shall just take a moment to comment on Dr. Ganesh's prowess in not just composing verses, in identifying them. What is expected of a performer in answering the queries of Kavya Vachana is just to identify the verse, where it is from, and expound on its meaning. But Dr. Ganesh, as you have all observed, composes the verse as an answer in the same meter. Here it was Shardula Vikridita. He composed the same verse in the same meter, in the same raga as employed by Kashyap here. Here Brindavani Sarang, and Dr. Ganesh also identified the raga, explained on its meaning. So this is the high standard that he maintains in his Avadhanam performances.
Janamadakam lalati.
Janamadakam lalati. Janamadakam lalati. Sasya Sharngino.
Punaha jakaraha nishidya.
Jakaraha. Janamadakam lalati. Sasya Shangino.
Let me bring you back to Rajoguna.
Na? Ah.
So,
La nishidyate. Lakara.
Va.
Avadhanam nirvodhum Rajogunah avashyakah khalu.
Satvashritah Rajogunah apekshitah. Kevalam Rajogunah kalam na nirmati.
एवं
Kalam chalayati.
तथापि रजोगुणस्य आवश्यकता तु वर्तते किञ्चित् रिपोर्ट् सज्जीकुर्वन् अस्मि अहम् अवधानी रजस्वलः सन् वेद्यां देहल्याम् अवधानं निरवहत् तत्र पद्यानि असृजत्
ततयापि व्याख्यातुं शक्यते यतोहि राजस्वल्यं तावत् नित्यसर्जनशीलतां द्योतयति.
तर्हि रिपोर्ट् सम्यक् अस्ति खलु.
पुनः वकारः निषिध्यते.
वकारः हा नवः.
सकारः निषिध्यते. सकारः.
शान्गिणो नवहाव वत्
दीर्घः उक्तः. हा नवहाव ज
तुषारलेखाकुलितोत्पलाभे पर्यशृणी मङ्गलभङ्गभीरुः तकारे अवसितमासीत्. तुषारलेखाकुलितोत्पलाभे पर्यशृणी मङ्गलभङ्गभीरुः अगूढभावापि विलोकने सा न लोचने मीलयितुं विशेः.
भवता हरस्तु किञ्चित् परिलुप्तधैर्यः इत्यारब्धः. इदानीं
विशेः हकार.
हे हेरम्ब किमम्ब रोदिषि कुतः कर्णौ लुठत्यग्निभूः नैते स्कन्दविचेष्टितं मम पुरा सङ्ख्याकृता चक्षुषां नैतत्ते विहितं गजास्य चरितं नासामिमीतेऽम्ब मे इत्येवं तनुजा तवादमुदिता दाक्षायिणी पातु वः. Our tradition has so much of beauty, it takes so much of just and very graceful liberty with our lords. Ganapati and Skanda, they are fighting with each other. Parvati shouts, "Hey Heramba, why are you crying?" Skanda is twisting my ears because he is Gajakarna, Vishalakarna. What's that you are doing, Skanda? It's not fair on your part. He is counting all my eyes. Each face, 3 eyes. 6 face. 1, 2, 3, 4, like that up to 18. Oh Ganesha, this is not fair on your part. Naitatte vihitam gajasya charitam. He is measuring my trunk. So, Then looking at her children's fighting, she started laughing at them, and that smile may protect us. Like that it ends. We take liberty, we end up in divinity, and very decent devotion also presented there.
ಲಕಾರಃ ನಿಷಿಧ್ಯತೆ.
Yeah. ನವಹಾಸವಜ್ಜಯ.
ಹಾವ.
ನವಹಾವವಜ್ಜಯ. ನವಹಾವವಜ್ಜಯ.
ಕಕಾರಃ ನಿಷಿಧ್ಯತೆ. ಕ.
ನವಹಾವವಜ್ಜಯತಿ.
ನಿಷೇಧः नास्ति.
ನವಹಾವವಜ್ಜಯತಿ. ಜನಮಾದಕಂ ಲಲತಿ. ಜನಮಾದಕಂ ಲಲತಿ ಸಸ್ಯಶಾಂಗಿಣೋ ನವಹಾವವಜ್ಜಯತಿ.
ನಿಷೇಧः नास्ति. ನಿಷೇಧः नास्ति.
ನವಹಾವವಜ್ಜಯತಿ. ನವಹಾವವಜ್ಜಯತಿ.
अवधाने
अन्त्य प्रतिमालायाम् अग्रे वर्तते.
18th house. 18th house.
18th. तृतीयचरणे तृतीयं गृहं. चतुर्थचरणे.
विधाय विध्वंसमनात्मनीनं शमैकवृत्तेर्भवतश्चलेन प्रकाशितत्वन्मतिशीलसाराः कृतोपकारा इव विद्विषस्ते.
ते तकार. आशुपद्यमेव कथयामि. प्रतिमालायामपि आशुपद्यमेकमस्ताम्. तारालिहीर खनिमंबर तारालिहीर खनिमंबरं तारालिहीर खनिमंबरमिन्दु इंदुं तारालिहीन खनिमंबरमिन्दुरात्म खनिमंबरमिन्दुरात्म द्योतैः खनति द्योतैः खनत्यविरतं किल द्योतैः खनत्यविरतं किल कालकारुः द्योतैः खनत्यविरतं किल कालकारुः कल्हारपालिरियं कल्हारपालिरिह वारिशया कल्हारपालिरिह वारिशया तदीय स्कन्नाम्बु स्कन्नश्रमाम्बु स्कन्नश्रमाम्बु कणराजिरहो विभाति तदीय स्कन्नश्रमाम्बु कणराजिरहो विभाति. Moon is an eternal mine digger in the mine of sky, where stars are going to become the precious diamonds, and he is the servant. He is a bonded labor of time, kala karuhu, and he is sweating, heavily sweating, and the sweat have been turned to beautiful blossoming lilies on earth.
तीव्रं जवमेषधरं धावसि पद्यैर्नवीन तीव्रं जवमेषधरं धावसि पद्यैर्विनूत्न निर्मितकैः कथमेष कथमनुसराणि मतिमन् कूर्मो हयमिव कथमनुसराणि मतिमन् कूर्मो हयमिव प्रदेहि प्रायति शिथिलद्युत्वं स्वीकृत्य करवाणि कूर्मो हयमिव प्रदेहि किमपि सुवर्त्म कूर्मो हयमिव प्रदेहि किमपि सुवर्त्म मकारः तकारात् तकारे तत् पद्यम् एतत् कृतमासीत्
महितः कमठ निरनुष्टुप
मकारः
मोदमानह्य कूर्म कौशलात् मोदमानह्य कूर्म कौशलात् यज्जिगाय शशकं जवान्वितं यज्जिगाय शशकं जयान्वितं यज्जिगाय शशकं जयान्वितं यज्जिगाय शशकं जवान्वितं यज्जिगाय शशकं जवान्वितं रामकृष्ण सुखवेतदस्तु ते रामकृष्ण सुखवेतदस्तु ते चक्री रामकृष्ण सुखवेतदस्तु ते ಚಕ್ರಿವರ್ತ್ಮನಿ ಚಕ್ರಿವರ್ತ್ಮನಿ ಚರನ್ ಚಕ್ರಿವರ್ತ್ಮನಿ ಚರಂಜಯೀ ಭವ ಚಕ್ರಿವರ್ತ್ಮನಿ ಚರಂಜಯೀ ಭವ ಚಕ್ರಿಣಃ ವರ್ತ್ಮ ತಾವತ್ ಆದಿಕೂರ್ಮಸ್ಯ ವರ್ತ್ಮ ತೇನ ಜಯಶೀಲೋ ಭವಸಿ ಭವತಿ ಭವಾನ್ ಇತಿ.
What just happened is a round of Pratimala or Antyakshari in Sanskrit, but extempore. People usually recite verses from memory, but since the Prachaka is also an Avadhani, and the Avadhani himself is a Shatavadhani, the Pratimala can go on extempore. So this is very rare to witness.
नास्ति निषेधः.
निषेधः नास्ति.
अवधाने
वरहाववज्जयति इति उक्तमासीत्. नवहाववज्जयति नवहाववज्जयति
अवधाने
नवहाववज्जयति नवहाववज्जयति
देहि मे संख्या.
आम्
देहि मे संख्या.
आमां कर्णं ददामि यद्यपि बधिरोऽस्मि अथवा सामि बधिरोऽस्मि. कस्मिन्?
18th house.
आमां चतुर्थे चरणे तृतीयं गृहं खलु. चतुर्थे चरणे तृतीयं गृहं 124. नवहाववज्जयति 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 ग
तकारः निषिध्यते.
अनद गन्ध अन्ध
मकारः निषिध्यते. नकारः निषिध्यते.
जाने जाने बान्धुर्यमेव नश्यते भवता.
अवधानिन्
यद्यपि जाने अहं तथापि प्रलोभितः शब्दालङ्कारेण गन्धबन्धुरः इति. गन्धबद्ध गन्धबद्ध.
प्रश्नः भवेत् चेत् तत्र किं कुतः कस्मात् इति कोऽपि शब्दः भवेत् खलु, प्रश्नार्थकः कश्चन शब्दः. अस्माभिः रुद्रप्रश्नः, चमकप्रश्नः, अरुणप्रश्नः इत्यादिकाः शब्दाः श्रूयन्ते. मया रुद्रप्रश्नः कृत्स्नं पठितः, कुत्रापि तत्र चा एव अधिकं श्रूयते. कस्मात् कुतः प्रश्नार्थकशब्दः कोऽपि न दृश्यते. किमेतत् वैचित्र्यमिति जिज्ञासुरस्मि.
तत्र तावत् रुद्रः एव प्रश्नः सञ्जातः इति एवं तस्य अर्थः जातः इति मन्ये. गम्भीरार्थकरूपेण वदामि चेत् अस्माकं प्राचीनग्रन्थानां ग्रन्थविभागेषु प्रश्नः, अनुवाकः, आह्निकः एवं मौखिकसम्प्रदायस्य सूचनाम् एव यच्छन्ति. यतोहि शिष्याः गुरुं पृच्छन्ति, सा पृच्छैव प्रश्नः तस्य प्रश्नस्य उत्तररूपेण इति. एवमेव अनुवाकः, अनुवदन्ति शिष्याः गुरुं वेदाभ्यासकाले इति. तथा एकस्मिन्नेव अहनि यत् सम्पूर्णं नीयते ग्रन्थभागः यः, तेन आह्निकम्. एवं विभागाः कृताः इति मन्ये. तथा सञ्जात इति. परन्तु रुद्रः प्रश्नः इति सर्वेषामपि न ज्ञायते रुद्रस्य स्वरूपं किमिति. अहं कालिदास एव कथयति, कुमारसम्भवे पञ्चमे सर्गे कथयति, पार्वत्याः मुखेनैव कथयति.
तकारः निषिध्यते. तकार
गन्धबन्ध
गन्धबद्ध. तकारः निषिध्यते.
भूः गन्धभूः.
अवधाने
भूमिः इति तात्पर्यम्.
अष्टमं गृहम्.
आम्, अष्टमं गृहं नाम यु वाण्ट् टु फिनिश् वन् कालम् ऐ थिङ्क् 1 or 2. इदानीं समस्यां प्रति गच्छामः. तृतीयनेत्राग्निहतोऽपि मारः इत्युक्तमासीत्. तृतीयनेत्राग्निहतोऽपि मारः, तृतीयनेत्राग्निहतोऽपि मारः, तृतीयनेत्राग्निहतोऽपि मारः. पुनर्भवो 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 हिंसति, पुनर्भवो हिंसति, पुनर्भवो हिंसति, पुनर्भवो हिंसति, पुनर्भवो हिंसति. पुनर्भवो 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 दारयते, पुनर्भवो दारयते, पुनर्भवो दारयते, पुनर्भवो दारयते नरालीं, पुनर्भवो दारयते नरालीं, पुनर्भवो दारयते नरालीं. ನರಾಲಿಂ ಮಾನವಾಲಿಂ, ನರಗಳನ್ನು ಕಿತ್ತಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ ಅಂತ. ಪುನರ್ಭವೋ ನರ ಹರಿತಾನೆ. ಪುನರ್ಭವೋ ದಾರಯತೆ ನರಾಲೀಂ. ಕನ್ನಡ ಭಾಷೆಯ ಕಶ್ಚನ ಚಮತ್ಕಾರः कृतः. पुनर्भवो दारयते नरालीं. इदानीं चित्रकाव्यस्य द्वितीयं दत्तपदी. विज्ञांगना नयन तारक पाली नयन तारक पंक्ति तुल्या विज्ञांगना नयन तारक पंक्ति तुल्या विज्ञांगना नयन तारक पंक्ति तुल्या पंक्ति तुल्या पंक्ति तुल्या.
अवधानेन तृतीयं ग्रहं.
तृतीयम् अवधान्. तृतीयं ग्रहं प्रथमपङ्क्त्यां 104 तुल्या.
अवधानेन धारयते इति शब्दः यदा प्रयुक्तः तदानीं मया दारा स्मृताः, तन्नाम दारशब्दः स्मृतः. संस्कृते तावत् पत्न्यर्थे कलत्रमिति शब्दः नपुंसके वर्तते. दारास्तु पुमांसः, पत्नी स्त्री भवति.
स्त्रियः
कथं पत्न्यर्थे एवं त्रिष्वपि लिङ्गेषु शब्दाः कृताः इति मम.
ते सर्वेषु लिङ्गेषु अपि यः पाणिग्रहणं कुरुते तस्य जीवने शासनमपि विधास्यन्ति इति तात्पर्यं. पुल्लिङ्गेन वा स्त्रीलिङ्गेन वा नपुंसकलिङ्गेन वा येन केनापि लिङ्गं नाम किं सङ्केतः इति सूचना अनुमानम् इति सर्वं कथ्यते खलु. तेन सर्वात्मना सर्वैरपि विधिभिः ते ताः एवं कुर्वन्ति. तस्मात् तेषां सर्वशक्तिरस्ति इति. त्रिलिङ्गव्यक्तित्वं तावत् सृष्टिस्वारस्यमित्यपि कथयन्ति. तेलुगुभाषायाः महान् भक्तः कविः पोतना आसीत्. कलडम्भोदि कलण्डो गालि कलडाकाशं पुनन् कलण्डो दिशलन् त्रिलिङ्गव्यक्तुलन्दन्तटन् लिङ्गत्रयेण यद्यद्व्यज्यते तत्सर्वं परमात्मनः सान्निध्यम् अर्हति इति. एवं त्रिलिङ्गव्यक्तिभिः अपि द्योतमानाः परमार्थाः स्त्रीणाम् इति तात्पर्यं. तेन हेतुना
एवं धन्योऽस्मि. मद्दारान् कथयिष्यामि.
कलत्रमपि कथयतु, भार्यामपि कथयतु, कान्तामपि कथयतु. जागर्तिमर्तुमिव 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 जागर्तिमर्तुमि जागर्तिमर्तुमिव 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 खे जागर्तिमर्तुमिव खे.
मर्तुम मतलब यू शुड डाई. मर्तुम.
भाषाश्लेषः कर्कचैव अग्रे पुरो गच्छन्नपि धारयते, पृष्ठतः पुनरागच्छन्नपि धारयते. एवं वर्तते.
भाषा अपि दाराः.
भवदनुभवः एवं स्यात्. अननुभविषु प्रौढि प्रथनं तावत् न युज्यते विदुषां. जागर्तिमर्तुं जागर्तिमर्तु मर्तुमिव के जागर्तिमर्तुमिव के जागर्तिमर्तुमिव के जागर्तिमर्तुमिव के जागर्तिमर्तुमिव खेत्र भराजि जागर्तिमर्तुमिव खेत्र भराजिरारात् भराजिरारात्. भराजिः भगण नक्षत्रराजिः मर्तुमिव जागर्ति वा इति. इदानीं प्रभातं भवति इति हेतुना उद्विग्नस्त्रीणां नेत्रतारकाः इव ताः तारकाः एवं विद्यते गम्भीरा काचित् परिस्थितिः इति तात्पर्यं. जागर्तिमर्तुमिव खेत्र भराजिरारात्. चित्रकाव्यं. कलाहेलाकरस्सारः 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 कलाहेलाकरस्सारः.
अवधानेन त्रयोविंशतितमं गृहं.
हाँ, त्रयोविंशतितमम् अन्तिमे चरणे.
वकारे स्थितमासीत्.
118.
वकारे स्थितमासीत्. व्यतिषजति पदार्थान् आन्तरः कोऽपि हेतुः न खलु बहिरुपाधीन् प्रीतयः संश्रयन्ते. विकसति हि पतङ्गस्यो पुण्डरीकं द्रवति चतुहिनांशा उद्गते चन्द्रकान्तः
तमध्वरे विश्वजिति क्षितीशं निशेषविश्राणितकोशजातम् उपात्तविद्यो गुरुदक्षिणार्थी कौत्सः प्रपेदे वरतन्तु शिष्यः
यथेच्छा भोग्यं वो वनमिदमयं मे सुदिवसः सतां सद्भिः सङ्गः कथमपि हि पुण्येन भवति तरुच्छायातोऽयं यदपि तपसां योग्यमशनं फलं वा मूलं वा तदपि न पराधीनमिह वः
विलासमसृणोल्लसन्मुसललोलदुःकन्दली परस्परपरिस्खलत् वलयनिस्वनोद्बन्धुरा जयन्ति कलहुङ्कृति त्रुटितकम्पितोरस्थला त्रुटद्गमकसङ्कुला कलमकण्डनी गीतयः विज्जिका इति कवयित्री इम्मडि पुलिकेशि इति पुलिकेशि द सेकेण्ड was the great monarch of South India, Chalukyas monarch, emperor of Chalukyas from Karnataka. He won Sriharsha on the banks of Narmada in a big war, great war. And his daughter-in-law was Vijjika Devi, who challenged even Dandi and Kalidasa. Such a great poetess she was. Very beautiful verses, of course, very few in number. They have been retrieved from the past.
एतत् त्रिपताकसहितं कथयन् चाट् जीपीटी इति किञ्चिदस्ति खलु तत्र किञ्चित् विनोदार्थं शतावधानि रा गणेशवर्यमुद्दिश्य किञ्चित् काव्यं संस्कृतेन रचयतु इति मया चाट् जीपीटी महाशयः पृष्टः तेन एवं पद्यं लिखितमस्ति स्वागतन्ते शतवधानि ऋगणेश तत् आर् गणेश इति पृष्टमस्ति ऋगणेश ज्ञानविन्मुद्रा मञ्जनबिम्बिताङ्गं निर्मित्य दीप्तानल संस्कृति केतोरास्तं विश्वनाथं वन्दे सदाङ्गुष्ठं पुनः तेनैव ट्रान्स्लेशन् अपि दत्तमस्ति
कर्म शर्म करं चिरं कर्म शर्म करं चिरं तस्य कर्म शर्म करं चिरं कर्म शर्म करं चिरं वसन्तस्य कर्म शर्म करं चिरम् आशु कविता
इंग्लिश ट्रान्स्लेशन् विल फॉलो आफ्टर द ब्रेक
The activities, the acts of spring are always pleasant.
द्वितीयो विषयः यः कश्चित् वर्णः वर्ण्यताम् एनी कलर्
कलर्
मया श्वेतो वर्णो वर्णितः
मया कृष्णवर्णः स्वीक्रियते
उभयोर्योजनेन ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट अवधानं भविष्यति अहं ट्रान्स्लेशन् श्रावयिष्यामि Salutations to you, O Shatavadhani Ganesh, whose body is adorned with the mark of knowledge and the black paste of the seal. You who have created the fiery beacon of Sanskrit culture and are the Lord of the universe, I always worship your big toe. Sadangushtam. So next year I think we can invite Chat GPT only to perform the Avadhanam.
ध्यानप्रलीनात्मनि भासमानः ध्यानप्रलीनात्मनि भासमानः ध्यानप्रलीनात्मनि भासमानः ध्यानप्रलीनात्मनि भासमानं ध्यानप्रलीनात्मनि भासमानं ध्यानप्रलीनात्मनि भासमानं ज्योतिश्चिदेकं 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 जयतादजस्रं ज्योतिश्चिदेकं जयतादजस्रं ज्योतिश्चिदेकं जयताददशं जयतादजस्रं ज्योतिश्चिदेकं जयताददर्शं जयतादजस्रं ज्योतिश्चिदेकं जयतादजस्रम् अजस्रं तद्दर्शनार्थं 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 बहिरीक्षणानां 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 तद्दर्शनार्थं बहिरीक्षणानां तद्दर्शनार्थं 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 बहिरिन्द्रियाणां तद्दर्शनार्थं बहिरिन्द्रियाणां तद्दर्शनार्थं बहिरिन्द्रियाणां तद्दर्शनार्थं बहिरिन्द्रियाणां 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 शरण्य एकः किल कालवर्णः शरण्य एकः किल कालवर्णः. To see the inwardly light, that's that light and that divinity and that color and all, it is beyond description. But before seeing that, the prior qualification what we need is to see black color. all the sense organs should behold darkness, means they should shut. So darkness becomes very important to me, because when all other sense organs are beholding darkness, then only the real light will be realized within me. And so because of that, darkness is very important to me.
जुष्टो मन्त्रिजनेन संगतधिया मद्वन्न कश्चित् प्रभुः जुष्टो मन्त्रिजनेन संगतधिया मद्वन्न कश्चित् प्रभुः प्राप्तात्युज्ज्वलकीर्तिसंहतिरहम् तैस्तैः चरित्रैः निजैः रामो नार्हति तुल्यतां रामो नार्हति तुल्यतां रामो न अर्हति तुल्यतां जनकजे रामो नार्हति तुल्यतां जनकजे संग्रामसिंहस्य मे संग्रामसिंहस्य मे संग्रामसिंहस्य मे सर्वं सत्यमरे सर्वं सत्यमरे परं त्वनुचितः सर्वं सत्यमरे परं त्वनुचितः संन्यास एकस्तव सर्वं सत्यमरे परं त्वनुचितः संन्यास एकस्तव संन्यास एकस्तव जुष्टो मन्त्रिजनेन गतधिया मद्वन्न कश्चित् प्रभुः प्राप्त अत्युज्ज्वलकीर्तिहतिरहम् तैः तैः चरित्रैः निजैः रामो नार्हति रामो नार्हति तुल्यतां रामो नार्हति तुल्यतां जनकजे ग्रामसिंहस्य मे संन्यास एकस्तव
सीता रावण संवाद झरी Sita Ravana Samvad Jari Nirjara Jari Nirjari Nirjara Jari Nirjara Sam Jari Jari Nirjara Sam Jari Noonam 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 Manusha Lokesmin Noonam Manusha Lokesmin Chuta Datta Ksharanvita Chuta Datta Ksharanvita Sita Ramasya Ramasya Sita Ramasya Ramasya Kavyametan Manoharam Chitrakavya Dhara Chitrakavya Dhara Dhara Chitrakavya Dhara Dhara Kailasayitameva hi Kailasayitameva hi Chitrakavya Dharadhareshu Kailasayamanamidam Kavyam Sita Ravana Samvad Jari. It's a rare kavya, very great Chitra kavya, written at the fag end of 19th century and even in the beginning of 20th century. It got completed by the virtue of two people, one Guru Ramashastri of Chamarajnagar and Sita Ramashastri, his own disciple. Guru wrote 50 verses. It's very difficult because 3 lines Ravana will be boasting his caliber, his valor, his charm and everything of him. And in the last line, Sita gives a reply, very, very succinct but sharp reply. And in that reply, if the trick is observed, by virtue of which all the 3 lines that were the boastings of Ravana will become the ridicules, will be ridiculing himself, like that a twist will be given. This is possible only in languages like Sanskritam. No other language can afford to have this, privilege this way. And this is one type of Chitra Kavya called Chuta Dattakshari or Chutakshari, like that. It is Akshara Chamatkara. And this is one typical example from that. The poet Ramashastri once he brushed aside one verse from Kuvalayananda, Bhavitri Rambhorutra Dishavadana Glani Raduna, like that. Then the other said, how can you brush it aside? It's a very beautiful verse. I can write many verses like that. Show it. Then he started writing similarly, but better than the verse of Kuvalayananda, he wrote, but he could complete only 50 verses. Then at the end of his incomplete work, he says, if anyone completes with another set of 50 verses, I will salutate 1,000 times. Then his student Sita Ramashastri, he composed the rest of the 50 verses and told, my great Guru is so capable and adept in versification. In spite of his capability, he left this incomplete to complete this. For people like me, it became a great opportunity, and so I completed. Let him not salutate, let him bless me 1,000 times. That's why Tasmai Sahasram Namaha, like that Durukur says, Tasmai Sahasrashishaha, like that it can be completed. Really fortunate was Chamarajanagar, Ramashastri and Sita Ramashastri. Uhavapyatra Stavaniyo, Guru Pradeyadhika Nisprahorti, Duportika Ma Dadika Pradastya, like that Kalidasa says in Raghuvamsha. And here, the verse is from Purubhaga, I think. Purubhaga, Ramashastri's composition. And incidentally, one work in English, Sons of Saraswati, was published by Ashoka University. And that work is based on scholars like this. There, Ramashastri's, plenty of verses of Ramashastri are included there with translation. People who are interested to know more about Chamarajanagar Ramashastri and his relative Garudapuri Shastri and many others. This work is very useful. Ravana says, Justo mantri janena sangata dhiya madvanna kaschit prabhu. No one is like me. I am in the group of ministers. I am decked with such precious ministers. Justo mantri janena sangata dhiya. There are brilliant people and I am also very intelligent. Sangata dhiya, like that he says, Praptat Yujvala Kirti Samhati Raham Taistais Charitrer Nijaihi. I have already got so much of name and fame because of my very, very astonishing deeds. Like that he says, Samhatihi means group. Sangatadhi means well qualified. And Ramo narhati tulyatam janakaje sangrama simhasya me. I am like a roaring lion moving in the wilderness and moving in the war of wilderness. Sangrama simhosmyam. I am like a lion in fights. And where Rama? Rama is no match to me. Then Sita says, Sarvam satyam are param tvanuchitaha sannyasa evatvaya. Arre, oh idiot Ravana, everything is okay with you. But only the thing is, you took the false sannyasa. As sannyasi, in guise you came and you kidnapped me, you abducted me. That is the wrong thing. You cheated. This cheating is the vile thing that you knew. And sannyasa means sam is the letter that being placed in nyasa. There is the mistake. If you remove sangata, chutakshari, what becomes? Mantri janena sangata dhiya becomes gata dhiya. You are an idiot, you have lost your brains. And kirti samhati raham, kirti hatiraham. I have destroyed my fame, I have destroyed my name. And Ramo narhati tulyatam janakaje sangrama simho. Simhasya me. I am Sangrama Simha will become Grama Simha. Grama Simha means a dog. So the praise of Ravana on his own part becomes an abuse by the tactful answer of Sita. And this is the beauty. Like we have 100 verses. It's very, very difficult exercise. I myself have attempted. In one of my avadhanams, I have performed such a challenge in the place of Chitrakavya. Very difficult. How can you do 100 verses like that? Even today, it's an inimitable work. It has its own prestigious place, due place in literature. One more humorous verse to your topic, black. I want to say one more color, one more verse on that. Kutilalakasankulasya shobha. Kutilalakasankulasya shobha. Kutilalakasankulasya shobha. Kutilalakasankulasya shobha. Kutilasyapi rujo. Kutilasyapi rujo harer. Kutilasyapi rujo harer vibhatihi. Kutilasyapi rujo Rujor harer vibhatihi. Kutilasyapi rujo Visandhi swa aichikam khalo. Kutilasyapi rujor harer vibhatihi. Kutilasyapi rujor harer vibhatihi. Rujor harer vibhatihi. Kutilasyapi rujor harer vibhatihi. Harer vibhatihi. Harer vibhatihi. Harer vibhatihi. Shashi Surya paramparashrayasya. Shashi Surya paramparashrayasya. Chavirevam prachakastikala varnaha. Chavirevam prachakastikala varnaha. Whenever we need locks, we always want it in dark color. Even the curly hairs, they will become more beautiful when it is in dark complexion. And though Vishnu is not crooked, his body complexion is beautiful. The crooked locks are also beautiful because of black color. And straightforward Mahavishnu is also beautiful because of the dark color. And even all the luminous bodies in the heaven, Surya, Chandra, and Chandra Parampara in so many yugas and so many kalpas, so many new Suryas and Chandras are all brought, are created afresh. To all of them, Akasha is the Ashraya, and it is in dark color. And that dark color is dazzling, chakasti, is brilliant, and that color is what I desire.
Therefore, people wear gore mukhude pe kale chashma.
Yes, it is also beautiful. Krishnopanetrabhyam eva nayane taram rajete.
Avadhanin.
After a long time.
Dvitiyam chaturtam cha gruham.
Dvitiyam chaturtham. 112. Chaturtham is 101.
तृतीयः पादः तकारः निषिध्यते.
जनमादकं ललतिशा जनमादकं ललतिसस्य शाङ्गिणो नवहाववज्जयति गन्ध बद्धभू नभहापवज्जयति गन्धबद्धभूः
तकारः निषिध्यते।
अवधानिन् पूर्वाह्णे भवता उदाहृतं गणपतेः शिरः शिवेन छिन्नं। शिरः तत्रैव वर्तते।
पुनश्च भवान् पृच्छति
न
हतोऽस्मि।
शिरः तत्रैव वर्तते, पुनः हस्तिनः शिरः पुनः आनीय कुतो योजितः इति प्रश्नः। एवं शिरः पुनः कुतो योजितमिति। अहं तावत् तदेव शिरः पुनः कुतो न योजितमिति न पृच्छामि। यदि स एव पृष्ट भवतः अग्रिमे अवधाने अप्रस्तुतप्रसङ्गी सन् यदि प्रक्ष्यति तमेव प्रश्नं यदि प्रक्ष्यति अपि च अपरम् उत्तरं देयमिति यदि वदिष्यति तर्हि भवान् किं वदिष्यति इति।
इदं तावत् दक्षिणहस्तेन दत्वा वामहस्तेन हरणम्।
अहं तादृशम्
अवधाने अहं वदिष्यामि, अत्र चिन्ता मास्तु। यस्मिन् अवधाने सकलो प्रश्नः उत्थाप्यते तस्मिन्नेव अवधाने अत्र तावत् गम्भीरः वर्तते समाधानरूपेण कश्चन अंशः। पुराणेषु श्रूयते ऐरावतस्य कश्चन कुमारः आसीत्, सोऽपि गज एव, दिव्यः गजः। स च गजः महान् शिवभक्तः आसीत्। स च गजः कदाचित् इन्द्रस्य आगमनावसरे न इन्द्रं मानयति स्म, इन्द्रं न ननाम। तेन कुपितः इन्द्रः स्वेन वज्रायुधेन तस्य शिरश्चिच्छेद। तदा भक्तस्य हेतुना स च तत् शिरः आनेतव्यं, विनायकस्य शिरस्थाने स्थापितव्यम् इति शिवस्य करुणा आसीत्। तथा निश्चयोपि अभूत् इति श्रूयते पुराणेषु। एवं विद्यन्ते बह्व्यः कथाः। तत्र अन्यतमा एषा कथा श्रुतपूर्वा स्यात्। गजेन्द्रः इति तस्य ऐरावतस्य पुत्रस्य नाम। ऐरावतस्य अभ्रमुः इति पत्नी अपि वर्तते। पत्नी पति च वर्तेते नाम पुत्रोऽपि स्यात् अथवा पुत्री वा भवेत् इति निश्चीयते तेन। तस्मात् सन्ततिः तस्मादेव नासीत्। मम वयस्यः
मम तु इदानीं you lost another answer also, so you have to think for another answer in your next
चिन्ता नास्ति। समयोपाय सरस्वती इति वदन्ति खलु अवधानिनां विशेषे। वासुकिः सर्वदा कथयति पौराणिककथाः कस्मात् आवश्यकाः भवन्ति इति, तस्मात् एतस्मात् इति। अवधानिनां समस्याः परिहर्तुं तथा अप्रस्तुतप्रसङ्गे यत्र कुत्रापि अस्माकं पुराणानि बहूनि प्रयोजकानि भवन्ति। तेन पुराणकथानां संयोजनेन कथञ्चित् समस्याः उत्तीर्य गन्तुं शक्यते। गन्धबद्धभूः इति
आरब्धं पुनः गकारः
प्रकारः अभूत्।
गकारः निषिद्धः।
छन्दः न अनुमतिं यच्छति अनुमतेन।
11 गृहम्
11 गृहं 100 1900 व
नकारः निषिद्धः।
रं प्रवरं
तदावश्यकं भवति,
निषेधः नास्ति। तकारः निषिध्यते।
वृथा निपातप्रयोगो न क्रियते इति सम्यक् अवहितं भवता। प्रवरं मा प्रवरं हिमा
रेफः निषिध्यते।
अन्त्य हिमान्त्य
तकारः निषिध्यते।
प्रवरं हिमान्त्य।
वामे हस्ते बलं किं?
वामे हस्ते
बलं किम् इति प्रश्नः। वामहस्तः उद्धृतः, किं पद्यम् आयाति इति प्रश्नः। वामे हस्ते बलं किं?
न भवति सुतरां दक्षिणे क्षिप्तमेव प्रवरं हिमान्त्य इति उक्तं खलु। प्रवरं हिमान्त्य।
रेफः निषिध्यते।
प्रष्टारं क्षिप्तमेवं वदसि किमु?
प्रष्टारं क्षिप्तमेवं
किं प्रष्ट अत्र क्षिप्तः इति वदसि इति। प्रष्टारं क्षिप्तमेवं वदसि किमु?
वदति किमु भवान्, भवति किमु भवान्, भवति किमु भवान्। वामतो 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 कर्षतीह वामतो कर्षतीह।
नकारः निषिध्यते। न
वामाचारः प्रियो नः। वामाचारः प्रियो नः।
वामाचारप्रियो न इति। प्रियो न वामाचारः प्रियो नः। वामाचारः प्रियो नः। प्रभवतु सुतरां प्रभवतु सुतरां प्रभवतु सुतरां प्रभवतु सुतरां वामचारेण नूनं वामचारेण चर्या वामाचारः नाम वामा आचारः इत्यपि भवतु, तथा मास्तु निश्चयीकरणार्थं वामचारः इति
नकारः
नकारः।
कस्मान्नायाहि तर्हि कस्मान्नायासि तर्हि वामाचारे भवानपि आगच्छेत् खलु, तर्हि यदि अयं समुचितः
कस्मान्नायाति तर्हि
नायासि तर्हि
प्रकटितविभवो ब्रह्मचर्या प्रभावात्। छंदो भाषणम, one more variety in Avadhana, a verse being composed then and there, but it will be in fragments, a bit of it there, a bit of it here, like that it goes on. All this can happen only when the Aprastut Prasangi is adept, when he is capable. When Aprastut Prasangi is not an Ashukavi, when not an Avadhani, then these circus and tricks cannot be done. Pravaram himantya guni, pravaram himantya.
रेफः निषिध्यते।
शल्य, प्रवरं हिमान्त्य गुणिशल्य।
अवधानिन् दशमं गृहं गमातृगृहं।
प्रवरं हिमान्त्य गुणि प्रवरं हिमान्त्य गुणिशल्य। तावन्मात्रम् उक्तं
वा निषिद्धं।
प्रवरं हिमान्त्य गुणिशल्य। ला
भकारः निषिद्धः।
ल
नकारः।
प्रवरं हिमान्त्य गुणिशल्य लालकं। लालनं लालकं गुणिशल्य लालके प्रवरं गुणिशल्य लालकम् अपि भवितुमर्हति, चिन्ता नास्ति। तथैव अस्तु। उद्यानस्य समस्तम् अपि आनीतं तत्र। इदानीं समस्यापूर्णस्य तृतीयः पादः। तृतीयनेत्राग्निहतोऽपि मारः, तृतीयनेत्राग्निहतोऽपि मारः, हतोऽपि मारः, तृतीयनेत्राग्निहतोऽपि मारः, पुनर्भवेन पुनर्भवो दारयते नरालीं, पुनर्भवो दारयते नरालीं, मार पुनर्भवो मार दारयते सीळुत्ते दारयते, पुनर्भवो दारयते नरालीं, पुनर्भवो दारयते नरालीं, पुनर्भवो दारयते नरालीं, पुनर्भवो दारयते नरालीं।
अवधानं येषु दिवसेषु किञ्चित् विशिष्टम् अध्ययनं क्रियमाणमस्ति। चलच्चित्रगीतं प्रसिद्धं किञ्चित् भवता श्रुतं स्यात्, शीला की जवानी इति। न श्रुतं, दौर्भाग्यं भवतः।
भवतो वा मम वा न श्रुतमेव दौर्भाग्यं वा?
तत् बहु प्रसिद्धं गीतं, बहु प्रसिद्धं गीतं। मै नेम् इस् शीला, शीला की जवानी इति प्रसिद्धं गीतं। मया एवम् अध्ययनं क्रियमाणमस्ति। एवं चिन्त्यते यत् तस्य रचयित्रा काव्यप्रकाशः सम्यक् अधीतः इति।
यः कौमारहरः,
हा, शीलाभट्टारिकायाः पद्यं तत्। यः कौमारहरः स एव हि वरः इति। अतः शीलायाः यत् कौमारम् अथवा जवानी तत् सम्बद्धं तत्सर्वम् अध्ययनं विधाय सः शीला की जवानी इति पद्यम् आरब्धवान् इति। किमहम् एतत् रिसर्च् पेपर् रूपेण प्रेसेण्ट् कर्तुं शक्नोमि?
अवश्यं भवते डॉक्टरेट् अपि लभेत। यतोहि ईदृशसंशोधनेनैव बहु प्रख्याताः नैके जनाः। आधुनिककालसमस्याः, आधुनिककालक्लेशाः पुराणकाले आसन्, रामायणमहाभारतादिषु कालेषु आसन् इत्येव। किमुत वेदेष्वपि तथैव पश्यन्ति खलु। तदुच्यते खलु, चत्वारि शृङ्गाः, त्रयोस्य पादा, द्वे शीर्षे, सप्तहस्ताः। तत्र कृस्तमेव पश्यन्ति, तत्र व्याख्यानानि तथैव निर्मितान्यपि। तस्मात् किमपि भवितुम् अर्हति, पूर्वपक्षत्वेन यत्किञ्चिदपि स्वीकर्तुं शक्यते। अवश्यं रिव्यू पास् करिष्यामि। पंचेषु विद्धः समस्यापादः स्थाणुकिलाभूत् सहसा द्विनेत्रः। स्थाणुकिलाभूत् सहसा पंचेषु विद्ध पंचेषु विद्धो पंचेषु विद्धो पंचेषु विद्धो पंचेषु विद्धो पंचेषु विद्धो गतचेतन गतशे पंचेषु विद्धो गतचेतनश्च पंचेषु विद्धो गतचेतनश्च स्थाणु स्थाणु किल अभूत् सहसाद्विनेत्रः पंचेषु विद्धो गतचेतनश्च स्थाणुः किल अभूत् सहसाद्विनेत्रः। इदानीं प्रभातवर्णने पङ्क्
अवधानेन चतुर्विंशतितमं गृहं
चतुर्विंशतितमं गृहं 24 पेनल्टिमेट् 110 विज्ञांगनानयन विज्ञांगनानयन तारकतुल्य नयन तार विज्ञांगनानयन तारक पंक्तितुल्या विज्ञांगना नयन तारक पंक्तितुल्या जागर्तिमर्तुमिह के जागर्तिमर्तुमिह केत्र मर्तुमिह केत्र भराजिरारात् भराजिरारात् नौ पंख भराजिरारात् भराजिरारात् भराजिरारात्
यकारे स्थितमासीत्।
हाँ
यशक्यो न दृशापि गोचरयितुं सत्त्वैस्तमो गन्धिभिः यत्र ब्रह्म सनातनं गिरिजया स्वैरं परिक्रीडते अध्यारुह्य तमेव मन्दरमभिध्यायन्य आस्ते शिवं कस्तन्द्रक्ष्यति कः प्रवक्ष्यति कथान् देवोऽपि वादानवः। वकारः
वकारः वदने नवनीतगन्धवाहं नयने वचने तस्करचातुरीधुरीणं नयने कुहनाश्रुमाश्रयेथा चरणे कोमलताण्डवं कुमारं। लीलाशुकस्य कृष्णस्य कुहनाविधिः।
रजनिचरमभागे वारसीमन्तिनीनां करतलकलिताभिर्दीपिकामार्जनीभिः दिशि दिशि परिमृष्टं यत्तमस्तत्समस्तं हृदयमवजगाहे केवलं रावणस्य।
यकारः यानेव शब्दान् वयमालपामः यानेव चार्थान् वयमुल्लिखामः तैरेव विन्यासविशेषभव्यैर्व्यामोहयन्तः कवयो जगन्ति। पङ्कङ्कुराजरचितं 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 पङ्कङ्कुरागरचितं पङ्कङ्कुराजरचितं 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 विनिवार्य सूर्य पङ्कङ्कुराजरचितं 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 परिमार्जयन् परिमार्जयन् पङ्कङ्कुराजरचितं परिमार्जय पङ्कङ्कुराजरचितं परिमार्जयन् परिमार्जयन् पङ्कङ्कुराजरचितं परिमार्जयन् परिमार्जयं परिमार्जयन् पङ्कङ्कुराजरचितं पङ्कङ्कुराजरचितं परिमार्जयन् श्री परिमार्जयन् श्री परिमार्जयन् श्री पङ्कङ्कुराजरचितं परिमार्जयन् श्री। अन्ते पङ्क विन् विं विं चित्रकाव्यम्।
अवधानेन द्वितीये पादे प्रथमं गृहं
द्वितीयपादे
प्रथमं गृहम्।
आम् यद्वितीयं गृहम् उक्तं तस्य एकं न्यूनं संख्या एका न्यूना संख्या तन्नाम 113 कलाहेलाकरः कलाहेलाकरस्सारः 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 कर्मशर्मकरं चिरं कर्मशर्मकरं चिरं कर्म चिरं कर्मशर्मकरं चिरं कर्मशर्मकरं चिरं कर्मशर्मकरं चिरं कर्मशर्मकरं चिरं।
प्रायेण आशुपद्ये तावत्
कविजीविकया 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 कविजीवि ಕಯಾ ಕವಿಜೀವಿಕಯಾ ಕವಿಜೀವಿಕಯಾ ನೇಯ ಕವಿಜೀವಿಕಯಾ ನೇಯ ಅಗ್ರೆ ಕಥಯಿಷ್ಯಾಮಿ ಕವಿಜೀವಿಕಯಾ ನೇಯ
अहमपि पश्चात् कथयिष्यामि.
आशुकविता.
तृतीयो विषयः विस्मृतिः.
विस्मृतिः.
सभामुद्दिश्य एतद्विवक्षुरासम्. आशुकविता विभागे तावत् सालङ्कारं पद्यं तदपि आशुर्भावेन कर्तुं तत् सुकरं न भवति. गणेशवर्यः तत्रापि आशुकविताविभागे पुनश्च निषिद्धाक्षरी समस्यापूर्तिः दत्तपदी इत्येतेषु विभागेषु तावत् निर्बन्धाः भवन्ति इति कृत्वा सरसं सालङ्कृतं पद्यम् इतोपि दुश्शकं भवति. तत्रापि तादृशानि पद्यानि रचयितुं यतते तत् विशेषः अस्माभिः स च विशेषः अस्माभिः हृदि कर्तव्यः इति. तत्रापि निषिद्धाक्षरी पद्ये तावत् सस्यशार्ङ्गिणः इति किञ्चित् रूपकम् आनीतं. सरलः मार्गः न समाश्रीयते, कठिनः मार्गः समाश्रीयते, येन सर्वेषां रसानन्दः भवतु इति तदाशयः.
भवनतोन्नति भवनतोन्नति भावमनारथं भवनतोन्नति भावमनारथं भवनतोन्नति भावमनारथं 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 शमयतीव शमयतीव विभाति शमयतीव भवनतोन्नति भावमनारथं शमयतीव विभाति शमयतीव विभाति नु विस्मृतिः 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 शमयतीव विभाति नु विस्मृतिः भाति नु विस्मृतिः जनिमृतिक्षत जीवित जनिमृतिक्षत जीवित दर्पणे जनिमृतिक्षत जीवित दर्पणे जनिमृतिक्षत जीवित दर्पणे जनिमृतिक्षत जीवित दर्पणे नयति किं जनिमृतिक्षत जीवित दर्पणे 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 जीवित दर्पणे जनिमृतिक्षत जीवित दर्पणे जनिमृतिक्षत जीवित दर्पणे जनिमृतिक्षत जीवित दर्पणे ಆಗಿತ್ತು जनिमृतिक्षत जीवित दर्पणे जनिमृतिक्षत जीवित दर्पणे जीवित दर्पणे जनिमृतिक्षत जीवित दर्पणे जनिमृतिक्षत जीवित दर्पणे क्षिपति भस्म 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 किमत्र विशुद्धये किमति भस्म क्षिपति भस्म किमत्र विशुद्धये memory failure, that is forgetfulness, is something a wonderful leveler of all the undulations of life, because bhava, the world, is full of undulations. In memory we forget both good and bad events. Both the memory of good and bad will all be lost in this slumber of forgetfulness. At the same time, the life mirror is having full of scars, is having full of dirt because of its birth and death. Birth and death are inevitable. So the mirror of life is full of dust. And so memory is something like throwing the ash to clean it, because we know memory failure is often called as throwing the ash and making us dull. In Kannada and other regional languages we have manku budi. Even in Sanskrit also that is being used. Bhasma kshipati means it is only to withdraw the memory of a person. It is only to make him dull. So the life mirror is going to be cleansed because of memory failure. So being an Avadhani, I am very fond of forgetfulness also. Because a great poet of Kannada says, Maravu Shiva Kripe. Memory failure is a great boon of the Lord. Because all the memories will not be sweet. And often our lives will be full of failures because our expectations are more. Nothing else. It's only because of the reason we feel that our failures are more. If we are not too expectant, then naturally our failures will not be seen. We'll be forgetting the failures. We'll be ignoring rather. And hence, the life at the fag end becomes very, very difficult, unbearable. But forgetfulness that blesses us fully. Kavyavachana.
Avadhanin. एकविंशतितमं 22तमं गृहं च.
The last 125.
वेदव्यासः 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 स इह दशयो वेद वेदाक्षराणि वेदव्यासः स इह दशयो वेद वेदाक्षराणि श्लोकं त्वेकं परिपठति यः श्लोकं त्वेकं परिपठति यः स स्वयं जीव एव स स्वयं जीव एव आपस्तम्भः स किल कलयेत् आपस्तम्भः स किल कलयेत् सम्यगौपासनं यः कष्टं शिष्टक्षति कृति कलौ कष्टं शिष्टक्षति कृति कलौ कार्ष्यमृच्छन्ति विद्याः कार्ष्यमृच्छन्ति विद्याः विद्याः काञ्चीपुर्यां विकटसुकविः कर्मठो वेङ्कटाख्यः काञ्चीपुर्यां विकटसुकविः कर्मठो वेङ्कटाख्यः चक्रे काव्यं सुगुणकुगुणौ व्याप्तमन्यादृशं यत् तस्मिन् विप्र व्यवहृतिरियं वर्णिता तस्मिन् विप्रो व्यवहृतिर्यं वर्णिता भारतोर्वी भूत्यै वर्णिता भारतोर्वी भूत्यै जाग्रत् वर्णिता भारतोर्वी भूत्यै जाग्रत् भूत्यै जागृत मतियुत भूत्यै जागृन्मतियुत जनैः भूत्यै जागृन्मतियुत जनैः भूत्यै जागृन्मतियुत जनैः मतियुत जनैः भूत्यै जागृन्मतियुत जनैः श्राव्यमेतत् स्वभूत्यै स्वभूत्यै. This verse is from the Vishwaganadhara Champu Kavya of Venkatadhvari. Venkatadhvari hailed from Kanchipuram, Kanchi Nagaravasi, Atyantam Karmataha, Naishthikaha, Sri Vishnavaha. तत्र तिङ्गले वडगले इति विभागद्वयं श्रूयते. तत्र वडगले विभागीयः आसीत्. निष्णातः श्लथीकृतग्रन्थः नैकेषु शास्त्रेषु सम्पन्नः गद्यपद्यमयेषु काव्यप्रकारेषु सर्वेष्वपि निष्णातः आसीत्. परन्तु तस्य तिक्ता मतिः, कटुका वाणी. तथापि कविरितिहेतुना, कल्पनाशालीति हेतुना स्वकीयकाले यद्यत् सर्वं प्रचलति स्म लोके तत्सर्वं विशालमनस्कतया तथा विशालदृशा पश्यति इति हेतुना गुणदोषमीमांसामेव कुरुते. There we have Krishanu and Vishwavasu, the two people who are Gandharvas moving by using celestial aircraft, Pushpaka Vimana, move all around the Indian subcontinent. Then what they see, perhaps in Maharashtra they are going to see. In Maharashtra, by that time itself, the Peshwa's rule had come to the forefront, I think, and hence Brahmins have already lost their traditional values. They've all come to Laukika. So every Maharashtrian Brahmin used to become a hero, a warrior, or an accountant, or an administrator, like that, and they lost touch with the Vedas. And that's why he mocks at the people. Those who know few Vedic alphabets, few Vedic letters, they will become Vedavyasa. Vedavyaso yeha bhavati Veda Vedaksharani. Is that? Is Saiha Dashayo Veda Vedaksharani. A handful of alphabets, handful of letters from the Veda, knowing a man of letters, like that, they become Vedavyasas. Shlokam tvekam paripatatayo saswayam jiva eva. Even if a person could recite a verse properly, he will become jiva. Jiva angiraso brahaspati. Brahaspati, he will become brahaspati. Apastambha sakila kalayet samyag upasanam yaha. The householder, a family man, should perform upasanam 2 times, twice a day, morning and evening. A person who performs that upasanam will become apastambha, because Venkatadhvari belongs to Yajurveda, and Yajurveda is a karma Veda, karmata Veda, yajna Veda, and that's why Apastamba Sutra, he perhaps belongs to Apastamba Sutra like me, and he specifically says, he who performs upasanam will become apastamba. Kashtam shishtam ksatikriti kalau karshya mrichanti Vedaha, Vidyaha. So in the age of Kali, all the Vidyas will be subjected to karshya, means will wane out, will get faded out very easily. So the person, the poet here, Venkatadhvari, is pointing at those days' calamities, and they are multiplied, they are aggravated, in the exponential functions they are all going on. That's why there is no charm in explaining the verse as such. But he has very beautifully observed. He had observed so many things. He pungently makes very, very brutal remarks. More than the good words of Vishwavasu, it is the taunting words and dodging words of Krishanu. They are the best portions of Vishwaganadhara Champu, because we all love gossiping. We all love speaking ill about others. And Venkatadhvari knew our weakness. Has played to, he is playing to his tunes like that. And there, I think, he describes those days Madras also, the black town. Huna karuna heenaha trinaya pranna manyante, like that he says. He says that this Europeans, they don't even consider Brahmins. They are equated with straws. And so, but they don't even know how to wash their bodies when they go for the nature call. when the nature call is addressed, they don't even know how to wash their body. And prayena shauchamapi na jananti, like that, he makes such remarks also, very pungent. But for a cultural study, it's a best suited work. Unfortunately, no one has done a thorough cultural study of that. Any Sanskrit scholar has not done a thorough cultural study, but other people who are not Sanskritists, who are interested in history and culture of that time medieval India, they have extracted lot of material from this. But Sanskrit scholars, they have to work for this. They should move in that way. Interdisciplinary study is very much needed in studying that. Similar to it is Sarvadeva Vilasa, one work of an anonymous author, which is of later times. There, the complete city of then Madras, Chennai, now Chennai, has been described in greater detail. There the courtesans, the dubashis, means the people who negotiate and their interpreters, language interpreters, and their skills and their charity and their prostitutes, all these things has been described in great detail. Dr. V. Raghavan, I think, has translated also that and brought out recently. It has been republished as well. So these are some of the works from Tamil Nadu. They grab our attention. Now coming to the final round.
निषेधाक्षर्याम् अन्तिमपादे निषेधः न क्रियते प्रायः, यतोहि यदि निषेधाक्षरी पृच्छकः योग्यं निषेधं करोति तर्हि पद्यस्य आशयः अथवा विषयस्य आशयः प्रथमपादत्रये भवितुं नार्हति, चतुर्थपादे अवधानी स्वतन्त्रतया पूरयेत् इति। अतः अहं योग्यतया निषेधं कृतवान् इति प्रेक्षकाः भावयन्तु इति मत्वा निषेधं न करोमि।
किन्तु अहं निषेधं करोमि। तृतीये पादे द्वितीयं गृहं।
तृतीये पादे द्वितीयं गृहं 105 सम्पूर्णमगात् अस्ति
अवशिष्टं गृहाणि सन्ति।
पूरयामः।
Third row, fourth and fifth houses.
Fifth one, third row, fifth column is 127. The other one is fourth one, third row, fourth column, 118. Third row, fourth column. If you have this one, 117. निषेधाक्षरं तत्र तावत् उद्यानं वर्णनीयम् इति। जनमादकं ललति शार्ङ्गिणो, जनमादकं ललति शार्ङ्गिणो सस्य शार्ङ्गिणो, जनमादकं ललति सस्य शार्ङ्गिणो, नवभाववज्जयति गन्धबद्धभूः, नवहाववज्जयति गन्धबद्धभूः, प्रवरं हिमान्त्य गुणि शल्य, प्रवरं हिमान्त्य गुणशल्य, प्रवरं हिमान्त्य गुणिशल्य लालकं, प्रवरं हिमान्त्य गुणि शल्यलालकं, निषेधः नास्ति खलु?
अवधानं मार्गशब्दस्य व्यापकः अर्थः वर्तते। यदि कस्यचित् मार्गस्य किञ्चित् नाम कुर्मः तदानीं तेन महात्मना क्षुण्णेन मार्गेण अस्माभिः गन्तव्यम् इति अभिप्रेतं भवति। तर्हि एतत् तुघलक् मार्गः, औरङ्गजेब् मार्गः इत्यादिकाः मार्गाः दिल्ल्यां कृतानि, तथा नामानि कृतानि सन्ति खलु। किं तैः क्षुण्णेन मार्गेण अस्माभिः गन्तव्यमिति तैः अभिप्रेतं?
न देव चरितं चरेत्, तदा दानवानाञ्च चरितं न चरेत्, न देवानाञ्च चरितं चरेत्। चरेत् इत्यनेन तस्मिन् मार्गेऽपि न चरेत् इति तात्पर्यम्। वनमीक्ष्यतां जगति पावनं धनं, पूर्णं समाप्य तदनन्तरम् अर्थं कथयिष्यामि। समस्या अवसिता। दत्तपदे अहं कथयिष्यामि, समाहाररूपेण एकदा एव कथयिष्यामि। दत्तपदे इदानीं विम् इति पदम् आनेतव्यं। जागर्तिमर्तुमिह जागर्तिमर्तुमिह क्षेत्र जागर्तिमर्तुमिव जाने जागर्तिमर्तुमिव जागर्तिमर्तुमिव क्षेत्र क्षेत्र जागर्तिमर्तुमिव क्षेत्र जागर्तिमर्तुमिव क्षेत्र भराजिरारात् 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 पंकं कुराजरचितं पंकं कुराजरचितं पंकं कुराजरचितं परिमार्जयन् श्री पंकं कुराजरचितं परिमार्जयन् श्री विम
अवधानेन त्रीणि गृहाणि अवशिष्टानि 4th row first column 4th row second column 4th row last column
4th row first 115 4th row second 103 4th row last 100 4th row last 110 4th row last 109
परिमार्जयन् इति अभवत् खलु नो चेत् न विम् परिमार्जने यदि आगतम् अभविष्यत् तर्हि प्रयोजनाय भविष्यति इदानीं परिमार्जनं समाप्तं विम् वृथा
परिमार्जयन् श्री भानुश्चकास्ति 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 श्री भानुश्चकास्ति श्री भानुश्चकास्ति 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 सुकविं भानुश्चकास्ति भानुश्चकास्ति सुकविं भानुश्चकास्ति सुकविं भानुश्चकास्ति सुकविं विम्बन्तुलि भानुश्चकास्ति सुकविं भानुश्चकास्ति सुकविं भानुश्चकास्ति सुकविं भविकाय भानुश्चकास्ति सुकविं भविकाय नेष्यन् भानुश्चकास्ति सुकविं भविकाय नेष्यन् पद्यं समाप्तं तदनन्तरं चित्रकाव्यं कलाहेलाकरस्सारः 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 कर्मशर्मकरं चिरं कर्मशर्मकरं चिरं कर्मशर्मकरं चिरं कर्मशर्मकरं चिरं कविजीवितया कविजीवितया नेया कविजीविकया नेया कविजीविकया नेया कविजीविकया नेया कविजीविकया नेया कविजीविकया नेया कविजीविकया नेया कल्पशिल्प कविजीविकया नेया कल्प नेय आकल्प नेया कल्पशिल्प नेया कल्पशिल्प 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 कविजीविकया नेया कल्पशिल्पकर 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 कल्पशिल्पकरः परः कल्पशिल्पकरः परः कविजीविकया नेया कल्पशिल्पकरः परः आशु कविता अर्थमन्ते वदामि
चतुर्थो विषयः सहृदयः
Sankhya is done. You can already see that the 559 which was given as the total number, it has been the matrix has been filled in and all the rows, columns and the diagonal sum up to 559.
कविकुलमतिवेलं कीर्तयत्येव लोकः कविकुलमतिवेलं कीर्तयत्येव लोकः कविकुलमतिवेलं कीर्तयत्येव लोकः कीर्तयत्येव लोकः कीर्तयत्येव लोकः कीर्तयत्येव लोकः कविकुलमतिवेलं कीर्तयत्येव लोकः कीर्तयत्येव लोको कीर्तयत्येव लोको धनकनकमुखैश्च 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 प्रीणयत्याशु भक्त्या धनकनकमुखैश्च प्रीणयत्याशु भक्त्या धनकनकमुखैश्च प्रीणयत्याशु भक्त्या प्रीणयत्याशु भक्त्या प्रीणयत्याशु भक्ता सहृदयमथ सहृदयमथनैव सहृदयमथनैव स्तौति सहृदयमथनैव स्तौति सहृदयमथनैव स्मौति सहृदयमथनैव स्तौति पूजान्त धत्ते सहृदयमथनैव स्तौति पूजान्त धत्ते स्तौति पूजाञ्च धत्ते सहृदयमथनैव स्तौति पूजाञ्च धत्ते परमयमपरागं नैति तस्माद् गरीयान् परमयमपरागं नैति तस्माद् गरीयान् नैति तस्माद् वरीयान्. In the world, poets are eulogized, poets are gifted with gold, silver and whatnot. They'll be awarded with so many things. But we don't have any award for a Sahridaya. Till today, no award is given to a Sahridaya. No title is given to a Sahridaya. Sahridaya means who quietly enjoys. Kaver abhipraya mashabda gocharam spuranta mardreshu padeshu kevalam vadadbhirangaih krataroma vikriyehi janasya tushtim bhavato yamanjalihi. By listening to the beautiful words of poets who are pregnant with rasa, true Rasika will get horripilated and will become a mute spectator to everything going on, and he will be enjoying inwardly with full of tears what Bharata calls as Daivi Siddhi in Natyashastra. But to such a Sahridaya, no recognition is given, though we have in our tradition Saraswatyas Tattvam like that. Dhvanyaloka's another name itself is Sahridaya Loka, like that, it is all there. But in modern days, no Sahridaya is recognized. He has to become a critic, then one and all will be recognizing. But there is a world of difference between critic and Sahridaya. So what I mean is, Sahridaya is not at all recognized in this happening world, who is just rushing behind so many recognitions and identities. In spite of that, Sahridaya is not going away from poetry. He is enjoying that quietly, and in that sense, I feel when compared to poets, Sahridayas are better. So, a true Sahridaya is much greater than poet. His enjoyment is selfless and aims at no rewards. Kavya Vachana.
उत्संगेवा मलिनवसने उत्संगेवा मलिनवसने सौम्य निक्षिप्य वीणा उत्संगेवा मलिनवसने सौम्य निक्षिप्य वीणा मद्गोत्राङ्कं विरचितपदं मद्गोत्राङ्कं विरचितपदं गेयमुद्गातु कामा गेयमुद्गातु कामा तन्त्रीमार्द्रां नयनसलिलैः तन्त्रीमार्द्रां नयनसलिलैः तन्त्रीमार्द्रां नयनसलिलैः सारयित्वा कथं चित् सारयित्वा सारयित्वा कथं चित् भूयो भूयः स्वयमपि कृतां भूयो भूयः स्वयमपि कृतां मूर्छनां विस्मरन्ति भूयो भूयः भूयो भूयः भूयो भूयः स्वयमपि कृतां मूर्छनां विस्मरन्ति तनन तननान तनन तननान विस्मरन्ति
कविकुलगुरुः कृत्वा मेघं दौत्यकार्याय कविकुलगुरुः कृत्वा मेघं दौत्यकार्याय पूर्वं कविकुलगुरुः कृत्वा मेघं दौत्यकार्याय पूर्वं प्रणयि हृदये प्रत्याशाग्निं प्रणयि हृदये प्रत्याशाग्निं यः समिन्धे चिराय यं समिन्धे चिराय नूतनं छन्दः यं हरिणीक्रान्ता यं समिन्धे चिराय यं समिन्धे चिराय यं समिन्धे चिराय रणति बहुधा भाग्यश्रीका रणति बहुधा भाग्यश्रीका रणति बहुधा भाग्यश्रीका रणति बहुधा भाग्यश्रीका भाग्यश्रीका रणति बहुधा भाग्यश्रीका ध्यापि अद्यापि रणति बहुधा भाग्यश्रीका ध्यापि अद्यापि 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 काव्यप्रियाणां अद्यापि काव्यप्रियाणां हृदयभवने यक्षी वीणा हृदयभवने यक्षी वीणा नादसाम्राज्यतुल्यक नादसाम्राज्यतुल्यक कालिदासस्य मेघदूतकाव्यस्य उत्तरमेघभागात् पद्यमिदम् उद्धृतं तत्तु मन्दाक्रान्तावृत्ते वर्तते पूर्वमेव वेङ्कटाद्रिणः काव्ये वेङ्कटाद्रि यत् काव्यं रचयां बभूव तत् विश्वगणाधरः चम्पाः वर्णनावसरे मया मन्दाक्रान्तावृत्तमेव स्वीकृतम् इति हेतुना वृत्तान्तरं स्वीकार्यम् इति हरणीवृत्तम् अहम् आचिन्वं किञ्च हरणीवृत्तस्य पूर्वार्धः तथैव रक्षितः उत्तरार्धे मन्दाक्रान्ता मां व्याकार्षीत् तेन हेतुना नूतनं वृत्तमिदं सम्पन्नं पूर्वार्धे हरिणी उत्तरार्धे मन्दाक्रान्ता हरिणीक्रान्ता इति तस्य नामाङ्कनमपि करोमि सभामुखेन यतोहि शिशूनां नामाङ्कने पित्रोः एव कर्तव्यं भवति नान्येषाम् अधिकारो विद्यते मम आगत्य बहवः अस्मत् शिशवे किं नाम कार्यम् इति पृच्छन्ति शतोत्तरम् अष्टाधिकं सर्वमेतत् दत्वापि ते तन्न स्वीकुर्वन्ति किञ्चिदन्यते इति वस्त्रापणं गतामिव स्त्रियम् अनुकुर्वन्ति तदर्थं नेच्छामि किमपि नाम एतेषु दिवसेषु परम् इदानीं तावत् मयापराधं मम अपराधप्रसूनमिव एतत् प्रसवः विद्यते तस्मात् तस्य नामाङ्कनमपि हरिणीक्रान्ता इति हरिणी यक्षी विवलहरिणी सा विरहव्याधेन पीडिता इति हेतुना हरिण्याः यक्ष्याः आक्रान्तिः इव तत्र कालिदासः मेघं प्रति कथयति मेघं प्रति यक्षद्वारा कथयति यथा यक्षी तत्र वर्तते इति तन् उत्सङ्गे सा मलिनवसने सौम्य निक्षिप्य वीणां मद्गोत्राङ्कं विरचितपदं गेयमुद्गातु काम तन्त्रीमार्द्रां नयनसलिलै सारयित्वा कथञ्चित् भूयो भूयः स्वयमपि कृतां मूर्छनां विस्मरन्ति इति Yakshi kadachita viraha vinodhanartham naikamapi karyam kurute. Yakshi in Meghaduta is desperate. She is love-laden. And in Viraha, she will be doing something or the other to kill time, to pass time. She will be talking to parrot. She will be making the peacock to dance. And at some time, she will be playing her lute, Veena. While doing so, tears roll on the strings of Veena. And Kalidasa was such a master poet. He knew so many arts. He knew how to play Veena, how to play Mridangam, and how to enact a play. All these things he knew. Kalidasa was a versatile scholar and artist of very high merit. And all that has contributed to his poetry, he knew not just once as an accident he mentions. Even in the Purva Megha also, he warns the cloud. If you are moving by the mountainside, there the Siddhanganas, the Siddha women will be seen. They will be playing Veena. They will be scared to see you because your drops will falter their Shruti, will falter their Veena's Shruti and all. So you keep away from them, or they will keep away from you and they will give way to you like that. So here also, because of our tears, the strings are soaked with tears. We all know they get dampened, the sound get dampened, and then it will not be melodious. That's why she is unable to play. Somehow she could sing. But what happened? In this song, we have the signature of Yaksha, Madgotrankam. From that time also, we had Mudrika, as we call, the signature of the writer, signature of the author. Sri Jayadeva Kaverida Muditam, like that we have. Tyagaraja, we have Purandaradasa, we have Muthuswami Dikshita, so many people they have. And here also we have, in North India also we have so many lyricists, so many songwriters of ancient period. They used to have their signature because in those days we had nothing like royalty claiming at all. And that's why they had at least their name to be mentioned. So that name is being mentioned of Yaksha. When the lyric is being sung, when she tries to utter the name, unable to utter because her voice is choked. She can't even utter the name of her beloved. And that's why she forgets the tuning which she had only made. She had tuned the song. You just see the beauty. Husband had written the song and wife had tuned. And she has forgotten even not just her tune, even the base of the tune, that raga's scale is also forgotten. Bhuyo bhuyo swayamapi kritam murchanam vismaranti. She is unable to recollect that. She is lost in love. She is lost in that agony, pangs of separation. And that has been beautifully explained in Kalidasa's poetry. Now, we are coming to the end of Avadhanam. I shall recite the verses and give out the gist of them. Now it is Udyana Varnanam in Manjubhashini Vritta, a 13-letter verse. In each root will be having 13 syllables. Janamadakam, Janamadakam lalati, Janamadakam lalati. Janamadakam lalati sasya shangino, sasya shangino, sasya shangino, navahava vajjayati, navahava vajjayati, navahava vajjayati, navahava vajjayati gandhabadha bhuhu, navahava vajjayati gandhabadha bhuhu, gandhabadha bhuhu. Pravaram, pravaram himantya guni, pravaram himantya guni shalya, pravaram himantya guni shalya lalakam, pravaram himantya guni shalya lalakam. Vanamikshatam, vanamikshatam, vanamikshatam jagati pavanam, vanamikshatam jagati pavanam, dhanam, vanamikshatam jagati pavanam dhanam. Pavanam dhanam jagati vanamikshatam. In the world, vana, a garden or a forest or whatsoever, this is the boon of the divinity. And vanamikshatam pavanam, it is sacred. In our tradition we have sacred forests, sacred woods like that. And how it is that janamadakam, people enjoy that. And then lalati, it entertains them. And sasya shanginaha varahava vat jayati, navahava vat jayati. Vara is my first choice, and that always remains. The first impression is the best impression. So, Shangi is Vishnu. Sasya Shangi means it's a Rupaka. Sasya Shanginaha Havavat. It is like the expression, it is like the Leela of Mahavishnu, of greens. This beautiful garden is seen around. And then it is Gandha Baddha Bhuhu. It's full of fragrance, Gandha Baddha Bhuhu. Even the land, even the earth is full of fragrance because the flowers have fallen, that is the indication there. And Pravaram Himantya Guni Shalya Lalakam. Lalake, it can be made so. Himantya Guni means Vasanta. Vasanta who destroys the winter. And among the weapons, he has the Shalyas. Shalyas means weapons. This Vana, this forest carries all his weapons, and this is best among his squares. Because Manmatha has 5 arrows full of flowers, made of flowers, and the flowers are kept in a queer, as we know, Tunira. And the forest or the garden is nothing but the Tunira, the queer of the arrow, queer which has the arrows of Manmatha, like that. And so this forest shall be befolden by Unnandal. This is the import of the poem. And now it is the Samasya. Sthanukila bhut sahasad vinetraha. Sthanukila bhut sahasad vinetraha. Sthanu means still. It also means a dried tree, stalk of a dried tree. That is Sthanu. But in all sense, it is Shiva or any inanimate thing which is immobile in nature, it is called Sthanu. Sthati, sthema, vartate, it is Sthanu, like that. It's stillness is counted here. I have solved in a way. Tritiya netragni hatopi maraha punarbhavo darayate naralim punarbhavo darayate naralim Pancheshu viddho gatachetano so gatachetanascha. So also we can make gatachetanascha sthanurbhabau sthanukila bhut sahasad means Trinetra Mahavishnu Mahadeva Shiva is Sthanu. How come human beings who have a pair of eyes, they will become Sthanus? This is one problem. And a human being with wide open eyes, how can he become a stalk of a tree? This is the Samasya. I have solved it in a way where it is said, from the third eye of Shiva, by the fire of third eye of Shiva, Manmatha got burnt. Even then he is Punarbhava. He is rejuvenated and reborn. And so he is killing one and all. He is troubling one and all. The human beings are troubled. And so, Pancheshu Viddha, he has not just 1 arrows, 5 arrows are there. When a human being, when a man is hit by his 5 arrows, will he not become still? Will he not become frozen? So he has become frozen. He is still Sthanuhu. So he became that. That is the indication. And one more solution I will give. Sthanukila bhut sahasad vinetraha. Sthanukila bhut sahasad vinetraha. Uma mukhe bimba phala dharoshte, Uma mukhe bimba phala dharoshte, Vyaparayamasa yada, Vyaparayamasa yada vilokam, 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 Sammilitam, Tartikam netramaho, Tartikam netramato tartikam netramato vilinam tartikam netramato vilinam Sthanukila bhut sahasad vinetraha. It means Sthanuhu sahasad vinetraha abhut. I have taken one line from Kalidasa also. Yes. It is because to bring the context I took from Kalidasa. Kalidasa says when Shiva Harastu kinchit parilupta dhairyaha umamukhe bimba paladharoshte vyaparayamasa vilochanani. All the 3 eyes moved around her lips. That is what Kalidasa says, because when Manmatha was about to shoot his arrows, already by the Prabhava, already by the influence of Manmatha, Shiva got attracted towards Parvati. From that stage, my solution comes. Then his Jnanagni Tartikam Netram Atho Vilinam. His third eye, which is the indication of Jnana, it got closed. It withdrew itself. Then Shiva had only 2 eyes. And that's why he became Sthanu. This is another solution. Now, Dattapada, the words vig is the first word, then jog, the third one punk, and the fourth one vim. Vignangana nayana taraka vignangana nayana taraka pali tulya taraka pankti tulya. Vignangana nayana taraka pankti tulya jagarti martumiva ke Ketra jagarti martumiva ketra bharaji rarat jagarti martumiva ketra bharaji rarat pankam kuraja rachitam parimarjayan shri bhanu pankam kuraja rachitam Pankam Kuraja Rachitam Parimarjayan Shri Bhanuhu Shri Bhanushchakasti Sukavim Bhavikaya Nishyan. Here the dawn has to be described. Suryodaya, Arunodaya. That was the question. The 4 words have been given from English. Vignangana means agitated woman. Like the eyeballs of the agitated woman, the stars are seen. They are still seen. They are still twinkling only to die. Jagarti martum maiva. They are only going to die because at no time they will be vanished. And then it is said, Jagarti martumiva. Quickly they are going to wane away, fade away. And then it is said, the moon, Kuraja, Kutsito Raja Kuraja. Moon has already done so many bad things. Because he is Sakalankaha, he is Kutilaha, he is Doshakaraha, all those qualities are there with moon. And so, like a wicked king, he has polluted so many things. And sun has to cleanse. It always happens. If one party has ended up in chaos, bringing the country to darks, then some other party has to come and cleanse all these things. In cleansing itself, its term will be ending. This is the problem. And so sun is doing, and then the rise of sun, Bhavikaya nation, Sukavim Bhavikaya nation, means a true poet will be led by sun towards Mangala, towards his auspiciousness. Means ultimately, sunrise, whether it will become successful in washing away the pollution or not, it's immaterial. But a poet will get ignited, poet will get charged. And he makes a morning, a dawn rewarding. Then we have the Chitra Kavita. It is there. I shall explain that. Kala Hela Kara Sarah Karma Sharma Karam Chiram Kavi Jivika Ya Neya Kalpa Shilpakara Paraha. This is the poem and the import. Vasanta is the topic. Kala Hela Karaha. He is full of kala arts. And Hela means Leela. Hela means articulation of the body. Kala, Leela, Kala, Hela, Karaha, Akaraha, or Karaha. He will make that. And Saraha, he is the essence of everything. And his karma is Sharma Karam Chiram. Chiram means always. The act of Manmatha is pleasant. And Kaviji Vikaya means he is the sole breadwinner for the poets. He will only entertain the poets. If there is no spring, there are no poets, there is no poem. So, Kavi Jivikaya Neya. It will be led by that Neya. Neya Akalpa. Akalpa means embellishment. Embellishments are flowers. Akalpa Shilpa Karaha. He sculpts the real embellishment. Vasanta's embellishments are flowers and all. So, Paraha. He is very, very sacred and very supreme. In that sense, the season Vasanta is wonderful and the most beautiful season among the others. This is the import of the poem, and this is in Padmabandha. For almost 3.5 hours you were all sitting. How to thank you? I don't have adequate words. Pruchha Pandita Patalim, Svecha Sahridaya Samuham, Anjali Bandhaihi, Svecha Sahridaya Samuham, Anjali Bandhaihi, Ayojaka Jagadakhilam, Vande Ayojaka Jagadakhilam, Vande Mandetarokti, Madhumandaraihi. Mandaro Narvavacha, it is said. So, Mandara blossoms by sweet words. If Avadhana has anything sweetness, it's because of you people and all. With the Mandaras of words, I will be thanking you. Because it's going to be recorded, I want to document it with all possible completeness. That's why usually I don't have any specific Mangala for my Avadhanams. Let me do that also. Kanjanala rasikam, swavahanam, Kanjanala rasikam swavahanam, Kanjanala rasikam swavahanam, Kanjanala rasikam swavahanam, Manjulaksha vatika mishena, Manjulaksha vatika mishena ya, Manjulaksha vatika mishena ya, ranjayatyavatu nas saraswati, punjitartha Ranjayatyavatu nas saraswati, punjitartha sushama sumangala. Let Vani bless all of us who, while entertaining her swan, it is always fond of the stalks of lotuses. It is a poetic imagery also, and it is reality too. She avoids that by giving her Akshamala. Akshamala, let us get that Akshamala and get benefited by that. The Saraswata Loka, that is the blessing of Saraswati, may fall on all of us. Thank you. Dhanyavadaha. Namaskaraha. Idanim apyekam vartate avashishtam angam tattu prachaka vidusham padya shravanam. Aneneva avadhanasya samapti. The avadhana will get concluded only by the verses which are going to be recited by prachakas, because it is always avadhani who is a fast food owner, fast food server. But they have a well cooked and seasoned food, and you are going to enjoy that. You are going to taste that. Please.
Namaste. The Samasya statement was Stanuh Kilabhut Sahasad Vinetraha. There are many ways of solving it, like Dr. Ganesh mentioned. One can take the word Stanu as a stump of a tree, or one can take it as an immobile person, or even as Shiva. Any of the meanings can be taken. I have taken the word Stanu simply to mean Bhagavan Shiva. Umanurupam vasanam manogyam vivaha yogyam paridhartu kamaha vinyasya gadham tilakam lalate stanuh kilabhut sahasad vinetraha. So the idea is simple. Wedding, he wanted to appear good. He is the bridegroom at least. So he wanted his appearance to match with that of the grace, the charming appearance, the beauty of Uma, Parvati. So therefore, Vasanam Manogyam, beautiful dress he wanted to have. Vivaha Yogyam Parithartu Kamaha, as suitable for a marriage. So he did not want his Vikruta Netra, the third, the crooked, strange eye. So therefore, in the middle of his forehead, he drew a very thick tilaka and therefore hid his third eye. And he became a normal bridegroom to marry Uma, Parvati. So therefore, he is left with only two eyes.
The Avadhani has completed this Dattapada challenge, all books, and do it. Yet, I don't think my poem comes to his level, but I will read it out for completeness sake. The Arunodaya, what I have done is, I have described all the activities of people at dawn, and I have given a reason, a poetic reason for it, Kavyalinga. saying because of the red glow, they think a fire is coming and they are doing all the activities. Actually, they are the activities that normally people do at dawn. Pratyah kopi mahanala prasaratit yudvigna chittah prajas suptan jagarayanti sambrahma bruto dhavanti margenyakaha japam kechidihashrayanti sahasa majjanti kechid jale vatsanashu vimochayanti paritas sinchanti va dehalim. Thinking there is a fire coming from the eastern side, so people who are disturbed, they quickly wake up people who are still sleeping with agitation, and some people start running on the roads as if to escape from fire, but they're just jogging. Japam kechi dihashrayanti. Some people start praying in the morning, praying to God to save them. And some sahasa majjanti kechi jale. Some people go to the rivers, tanks, and start immersing themselves as if to save themselves from fire. And many people run out and they let loose all the calves and cows which are tied in the night because at least they let the animals escape from the fire. Or all around the threshold, the dehli of the house, they start sprinkling water so that it will be wet and the fire will not spread to their house. So that is the...
चित्रकवितायां वसन्तर्तुं विषयीकृत्य पद्यरचना कृता अस्ति. वसन्तसवने जाने वनर्धिं नवतां गतां वर्णभार्णव कोट्यां को वशी काशी वरात् परात्. अत्र वसन्तसवने वनर्धिं नवतां गतां. वसन्तसवने जाने वनर्धिं नवतां गतां. कस्यापि सवनस्य द्रव्यवितरणम् एव परमार्थः. तदेव पद्येऽस्मिन् निबद्धः. तदुपरि वसन्तसमये वर्णानां प्रकर्षः सर्वत्र दृश्यते. तदत्र वर्णभार्णवकोट्याम् इत्यत्र निबद्धः. एतस्मिन् काले मिथुनसाधारणः कालोऽयम्. अतः एव वधानिना एव शिवस्यापि चर्या व्याख्यातः. शिवस्यापि धैर्यलोपः सम्भवति कालेऽस्मिन्. तत्सति कालेऽस्मिन् कः वशी काशीवरात् परात् इति प्रश्नेन निबद्धः. तस्यार्थः शिवस्यैव धैर्यलोपः सञ्जातः. किं पुनरन्यानाम् इति.
आशु कविता.
सर्वेभ्यो नमः. The first topic was Parvat or a mountain. नव्यकल्प परिकल्पनाय किं रक्षितः स पृथिवी गुणो महान् अन्यभूतरहितः प्रजासृजाय शिलोच्चय इति प्रथाङ्गतः. So the idea is, has the creator Brahma, has he saved the Prithvi Bhuta, the one among the 5 elements, in order to go about a new spell of creation. When he has to create the world anew, he will need all the 5 elements. So has he saved the element of the earth, Prithvi Bhuta, in order to embark on a new creation. The second topic was any color. I have described the color white. Pruthuka mukha ravinda makaranda nibhasmita nirnimitta bha chaladala moola samstha sugata malabodhi muhurta sakshini स्मरहर सान्ध्य तांडव पदाहति पूत हिमालयद्युतिः जयति सितच्छ विश्वहृदयाहित सर्वरुचिशुचि प्रसूः. So the color white is like the smile, the innocent smile of young children. So if the young babies, they are called as the face is likened to a lotus, and the honey that we extract from the lotus is like the faultless or blemishless smile of children, that is likened to the color white. The smile is generally spoken in connection with the color white in Sanskrit. Then it is also like when Bhagavan Buddha attained his bodhi or enlightenment, he used to sit beneath the Chaladala is Ashwatha Vriksha, and that day happened to be the Purnima or the Vaishakha Purnima, Vaishakhi. So the color white is like that moonlight that shone during Buddha's enlightenment. Smarahara Sandhyatandava Padahati Puta Himalaya Dyutihi. Every evening, Bhagavan Shiva, Khanda Parushu, he does his Ananda Tandava, and when he goes about that in the Himalaya, his Padahati, the tapping of his feet, it sanctifies the Himalaya. So the color white is like, again, the Himalaya, which is sanctified thus by Shiva's dancing feet. Jayati Sitachavihi, Swahridaya Ahita Sarva Ruchihi. We know that whilst the color white holds within its bosom all other colors, all other transparent colors. That is what optics tells us. So, Swahridaya Hita Sarva Ruchihi Shuchi Prasuhu. It also begets brilliance or purity. The third topic was Vismriti or forgetfulness. Durotsarita Bhuta Vrittiriva Tajjatasya Nutna Puri Nashta Praktana Paurushasya Kalahe Vyakteva Yodhurjara Kalagrasta Samasta Sampada Iva Dravya Praditsor Matihi Seyam Vismritirathanoti Vipadam Klishtanubhutirabhave. Vismritiriti ayam vishayah bahudha atra varnitaha. Kaschana puman vartate kasyanchit puryan jataha. Kalena gacchata tavat sa puri atyantam viparivartita. Idanim tasyameva purim yadi saha agataha. Idanim purnam parivartita tam abhignatum asau naparayati. Tasma tadrishi sthitihi vismritehe iti. Nashta praktana paurushasya kaschana अत्यंतं साहसिकः पुमान् वर्तते मध्येरणं तस्य पौरुषं समस्तमपि अपाकृतम् इदानीं जरा तस्मिन् सन्निविष्टा सति तम् प्राकृतमिव आचरयति सा जरा तस्मात् जरा तावत् विस्मृतिम् अनुधावति इति कालग्रस्तसमस्तसम्पद इव द्रव्यप्रदित्सोः मतिः कश्चन वदान्यः पूर्वमासीत् इदानीं कालपरिणामहेतोस्तावत् सः अकिञ्चनः सञ्जातः तस्य वदान्यबुद्धिः इदानीमपि अवशिष्यते किञ्च किमपि काचिदपि सम्पन्नास्ति तस्मात् नष्टसम्पदः तात्र बुद्धिरिव विस्मृतिर्वर्तते इति आतनोति विपदं कष्टम् आतनोति क्लिष्टानुभूतिः क्लिष्टा अनुभूतिः यया क्लिष्टा अनुभूतिः इति द्वेधापि विग्रहीतुं शक्यते सहृदयः इति अन्तिमो विषयः आसीत् प्रतिध्वनिरनश्वरः कविमनोगुहागुम्भितः पयोनिधिरुदित्वरः कविकलानिधिक्लेदितः पतत्रिरपि गत्वरः कविसमीरणप्रेरितो जयेत् सहृदयोधनी दलितभावदैन्यो नृणाम् इत्यस्ति सहृदयः तत्तादृशो वर्तते सः अनश्वरः प्रतिध्वनिः इव इति कविमनोगुहायाः ये तावद्ध्वनयः उद्भवन्ति तद्ध्वनिम् अनुकुर्वन्तः प्रतिध्वनिः इव सहृदयो वर्तते इति किञ्च प्रतिध्वनिः गच्छता कालेन प्रणश्यति अयं सहृदयो तावत् सहृदयस्तावत् न कदापि प्रणश्यति इति पयोनिधिरुदित्वरः यदि कविः एव चन्द्रमाः कविचन्द्रमसा तावत् सहृदयसागरः सहृदयरूपः सागरः सः वृद्धिं याति तस्मात् सः पयोनिधिरुदित्वरः इति एवं कविः यदा वायुसन्निभो भवति तेन कविवायुना अयं कविः पक्षी सहृदयः पक्षी प्रेरितः इति तावत् अयं तावत् प्राधान्येन आशयो भवति कविः सहृदयं प्रेरयति विविधाभिः विधाभिः इति जयेत् सहृदयो धनी दलितभावदैन्यो नृणां न कदाचित् भावदारिद्र्यं जगति वर्तेत इति सहृदयः कुरुते इति सर्वेभ्यो नमः
धन्यवादाः समाप्ता अवधानं समाप्तम्
वयम् उत्थाय एतेषाम् एकवारम् अभिनन्दनं करिष्यामः वस्तुतः प्रायः घण्टात्रयात् अयं कार्यक्रमः नैरन्तर्येण सम्पन्नः वर्तते अतः आर् गणेशमहोदयानां वयं हार्दं धन्यवादं वयं समर्पयामः।